Good evening, members of Spiritual and Didian Encounters. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm your host, Axias. For those tuning in on Restream, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, tonight we are having open mic night where the members of Spiritual and Didian Encounters can come up on here as I drop a link and share a story or an experience. Let me share this live feed out real quick. It's another hot day here in Texas, brothers and sisters. There we are. We're all shared out here on Spiritual and DNA Encounters, brothers and sisters. Who do we got here? I see Brother Jesse, or Jesse H. How you doing? How you doing tonight? Hanging in there, Jesse. Hanging in there. So how you doing tonight? Tonight we have open mic night. If there anybody wants to share a story and experience, you're more than welcome to jump on here. Matter of fact, I'm fixing to drop the link. Let's get this started right now. Drop the link. There you go. This we stay on as long as there we got some viewers. Last night we had a 3 hour show, so I had to rest up. From that show. It was a pretty good show last night for those who missed it. We had Sister Brenda on the panel, and we had Brother Alexander, the Ganja shaman, on last night. We was talking about all kinds of things of the spirit and stuff like that. Uh, Talk about everything, anything that anybody can throw. That's what we're talking about last night. How you doing, Sister Edna Wilson? Yeah, I was gonna start at 11, but I was running a little bit late because the fan, one of the fans I used for one of my dogs gave out, so I was over there trying to mess with it. So that's why I'm running a little bit late right now, but that's okay. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to go see what I can find for him to keep his where he sleeps, keep it fresh. Yeah, a lot of crazy things. No, when I get on Facebook and stuff, I don't even know what's real, what's not real. Just a lot of things that the social media be putting out there. You know, I don't know if they want people to be mad with the world, but they put more negative stuff than good stuff. That's all I can say. More negative stuff than good stuff. Uh, you know, the veil is being lifted, and a lot of things are happening. That's been happening. It just is being brought into the light. I guess you could say a lot of things. That's one thing I want to talk about. How the unseen forces can affect your train of thought, when you're trying to relax, meditate, or find your peace, your inner peace, or your foundation. I don't know who works out here, not how you doing double outdoors. I don't know who works out here, but that's one of the things that I like to do. Whoever's worked out with weights or any kind of workouts dealing with concentration, whether it's lifting weights, throwing punches, shadow boxing, uh, throwing some moves. It takes concentration sometimes. So you try to focus on a spot, and whatever you set in your mind, you can do it. Whether it's reps or how fast you want to throw a punch or how fast you want to block something, or if you're lifting weights like me, I like to lift weights. I looked at I focus on a point, and I just knock them out and count them here. And as I'm counting them, I'm staying focused on a certain point, right, that I'm looking at, and I'm just counting them, knocking them out without thinking or anything like that. Just knock them out. But I think right now there's a lot of distractions in life that, well, it's one of the things that happens when you do the investigations out there. We'll talk about it in a moment. But yes, you got to stay focused. So there's a lot of things here that are happening in this world right now that want us to look focus of our heavenly love foundation. They want us to lose focus on our peace foundation, the things that make you feel good. There's many things that can make a person feel good, right? For example, go and get a nice shave and a nice haircut is a thing. Females doing their hair, doing their nails, their toes, manicures, pedicures, makes you feel good, right? Some people working out makes them feel good. Going on a walk makes them feel good. Uh, Going for a jog makes them feel good. Riding a bike, things in that nature. And with all the things that are happening around us, how I've been seeing a difference in the how some of these policemen be acting, how they're just trying to find something on somebody. So even though is this supposed to be a free country, sometimes they don't feel that way because you got certain people in place. They're just looking out. Is looking out to disturb your peace or your foundation. Uh, Want to give you a ticket, right? They want to give you a ticket or something because they're trying to make a quota, right? Trying to make their money. So if they can interrupt somebody and they're making their quota, I guess it's okay in their book. But if the person really wasn't doing nothing, yeah, there's a lot of things that I see in that nature, where somebody might not be doing anything, and that anything becomes something. No problem, Sister Edna Wilson. What she was praying, I was praying within myself uh, for her to be healed completely. Um, she's still young and she can recuperate. Of course, through Jesus Christ, he makes things happen. He's awesome. That is awesome. She is doing great. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for protecting her and healing her, Heavenly Father. Continue to protect her and bless her. This we pray in your heavenly name, Heavenly Father. You're awesome. Yeah, prayer is very important. You know, and sometimes when people are going through things, you try to get them involved. Like for example, going in prayer, because when you're going in prayer, you're making contact with the Heavenly Father, and if you're truly praying from within your heart, the prayer that you're saying will be effective because the Heavenly Father is listening because it's being true from the heart. So He will make a positive impact because He listens to our prayers, and he listens, and it just doesn't listen. It makes things happen. I'm just a vessel. Uh, he uses me to do the works. And that's what I do. That's all I do. I'm a humble man. Try the best to be humble in this world. There's so many things in this world that could affect us in a negative way, right? If we pay attention to the things that are happening around us, how people act or what people are saying, and you start believing in some of the things that these people are saying, and the things they're saying is out of hatred and anger and vengeance, you're not going to go nowhere, get nowhere in life like that. We got to maintain our heavenly love foundation. That's the things that's going to bring healing, bring spiritual protection, and blessings. Is you got to maintain the heavenly love foundation. It's very important. Yes, Sister Edna Wilson. Because I have love in my heart. Of course, Jesus Christ first, and I know I've been fighting spiritually for a very long time. Say since the age of 3, could probably be younger. As I can remember, probably maybe even younger than 3. When I was like maybe a couple of months old, I remember certain things. Certain things that were happening where the unseen forces were trying to take me out of this world. You know, using people that were around me. So they would, I remember certain things where being in certain locations where I'm with the enemy, you could say, but the goodness in me and the shine, the heavenly love foundation within me overcame the enemy I was surrounded by when I was a child, which most likely was even younger than 3, as far as I can remember. Because I remember parts and pieces of my life that the Heavenly Father has shown me certain things. And the only thing I can tell you, brothers and sisters, is the child trafficking along the borders has been happening for a very long time. And there is some very evil people that are doing that. You won't call them coyotes or whatever they are, whatever they're affiliated with. Uh, they exist. It's not just drugs that they're smuggling. Children. They've been doing this for a very long time. You're welcome, brother Jesse. You could say I've been in the lion's den that I can remember. Now that I'm getting older, I remember certain things, but I know that the Heavenly Father has always been around me to protect me, in which I thank Him. He's protected me numerous times, and I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. If I count the times of how many times I shouldn't be here, it's too many. The only thing I can say is that I'm spiritually blessed, that the Heavenly Father and the angels affiliated with Him, that they have my back, they've been having my back since day one, and they've been guiding me, they've been assisting me when I needed assistance, and they've been there for me. That's why I don't focus on too much of the bad things that are happening that social media news is trying to do. I just focus on my relationship with the Heavenly Father and the works that I do here on spiritual and DN encounters. Even though my group is not that big, well, that's okay, because I have the regulars that always come in here. But yeah, I remember a lot of things. People just don't understand. Uh, Sister Brenda went through some things herself also when she was a child. I remember things. I just don't talk about it or what I witnessed. Um, but I know one thing that the Heavenly Father assisted me through a situation that I can remember, which was a matter of life or death when I was a child. Numerous times that He assisted me spiritually. That He made the enemy not the enemy wasn't able to do anything because I was under the Heavenly Father and the Heavenly Angels watch. They're watching, looking out for me. Remember, they control uh, time and space. You know, the past, the present, and the future. I don't know. He's awesome. Another thing, I just want to let everybody know here that I don't know if you remember all the people that were coming in here for like 5 years, 5 years ago. They kept on targeting me and stuff. Whoever there were, how many people there were affiliated with each other. I'm just here to tell you that I'm thinking of taking down my SE News, or I might keep it, but I don't know. I'm thinking about taking it down. I'm not sure yet because this I deleted a lot of things of the past. That I don't need it. Need to look into that. Because the past is the past. So yeah, I got rid of a lot of stuff. Of the past, uh, pictures and messages and all this stuff because it's the past. And I don't want to dwell in the past. So I let a lot of things go, which to me is I leave it all in the hands of the Heavenly Father. He is my protector and He is my avenger, so He handles things accordingly. And it's not for me to rejoice over anything. It's just however anything happens, it happens. However, He takes care of business. So I'll drop another link here if anybody wants to jump on here. I got a lot of things to talk about in that nature. You know, uh, how sometimes we have to let go of things just to move on forward. I don't like to be going back and forth with anybody in a negative way, because that's not what spiritual and Didian encounters is about. Spiritual and Didian encounters is about helping out my brothers and sisters spiritually. For those that do have faith and believe in Jesus Christ, this is what I do here on spiritual and Didian encounters. And if there's anything that's in spiritual cloak that's hiding, well, you know, I bring it out to the open so people could see uh, how these unseen forces are around us. It's dealing with the balance and the things that they do to try to cause chaos and havoc in our world. Yeah, the Heavenly Father is amazing. All you got to do is go into prayer, and he'll be effective immediately. But it's got to be done in true faith and believe in Him. That's the only way it can be very effective. When you have heart and you care about humanity, and you focus on what the situation is, the individual or person, you focus on that, and you pray for them to be healed, and it's coming out of a true heavenly love foundation. It will be that effective that the person will be healed. I see you, Sister Brenda. I seen you when you came in at the beginning. Oh, there you are.
Did I get lost?
Yeah, no, no. I didn't know. It said they moved the thing where the way I got it set up before will come up here. When you will show up, it will come in the center of the screen up on top, but now it's coming on the right side.
Oh, okay.
So I seen you.
How we doing?
Doing good, doing good. Just doing a live here for open mic night.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was just talking in general of how I've let go of a lot of things that I've had on my phone. From when all the trolls were coming after me. I was like, man, I don't get. I deleted a lot of things because that's the past,
Yeah,
and I'm not trying to live my life in the past. They're the past, they're history. So all I got to do is just move on forward.
right.
What I've been doing.
Yeah,
They're not gonna influence my life in any kind of way, in which they're not. Uh, so I've done moving on forward, and all the things from the past, whatever the reason they were doing what they were doing. I done forgave them, and
yeah.
I done moved on in my life. What do you think people do that in the this in the communities that they want to? You said you had some people there that are trolling you and coming after you in a negative way. What's the purpose of that? I mean,
You know, Abe, I'm going through that with another channel that I have gotten involved in. And there are people, and I'm going to tell you what I think it is. The conclusion that they came up with is the people that are attacking all of us over there. I mean, they've had bomb threats called in on them. I had the cops show up at my door. I mean, it's just been something. But we think that it's just that these are people who really have no lives and they want attention. They strive for attention. And apparently, they think that is the only way they can get it is by being wicked and evil. So maybe they have something in them that causes them to do that. But it's, they have gone above and beyond over there at that other channel. Like I said, the bomb threats. Um, they called the Texas Police Department and gave them my name. So I had to wait until I guess the cops here showed up. And of course, I knew them, so it was kind of funny. But basically, this woman tried to file a police report saying that I was going to come to Oklahoma. So when the cops got here and they're like, this woman in a wheelchair is not going to travel to Oklahoma. And no, I'm not. So I think they just really want attention, honestly. But they're
and
asking
what are
for it the
these
worst way.
people? Where from Oklahoma are they?
The girl that sent them to me, trying to remember exactly where, it was a weird name. Um, did it start with an O? I can't remember what they said because I knew the cops. They ended up asking me if I knew somebody from there. And I said, well, I know people that live out there, but that ain't one of them. So, I mean, and the other one's in the UK. Now, nobody can do anything to him except for report him, but they have to prove that the bomb threats came from him at
And
his
what's the name of
order.
that fella?
His name is Jamie. They have him. He's the one who sits on his stream and drinks from the time he gets up till he goes to bed.
I think I
He's
know who
a
you're talking about
he's a little
because I
drunk.
remember interviewing a guy like that. He was drinking on the.
Yeah, his name is Jamie Starr. That's what he's called, Jamie Starr. And he has a channel. Now, he's been not putting it up lately because all of us in that group, we all contacted attorneys, FBI, the police departments, everything. So they've been laying kind of low lately, which is probably in their best interest because if they come at us again, and they have brought the worst out in me, boy, I can sit calmly and turn into the wicked stepmother and just not yell and scream. And that scares them. They wanted me to come up on their panel. I'm like, I don't get in strange discords. That's like taking a drink from somebody I don't know. I'm smarter than that. That's not happening. So it's pretty bad. And I don't know why. What possesses people? And I guess that's the right word, possesses. What possesses people to think that they have to act like that and be so barbaric as to call it? They stopped a diesel truck with a bomb threat. He had to get out of his truck and they had to go through his, and that's a federal crime. Okay. That's federal. And they had to go all through his truck to make sure he had nothing in there that would, blow up, harm anybody, none of that. I don't know why they do this stuff. They're insane. For real.
Makes you, and they were part of the group that you're in right now. How
Do
long were
what?
they? How long were they in that group?
Well, they were in it for probably about a year and a half before they were asked to leave because of the things that they were doing. So, yeah. But yeah, it's ridiculous. And Sage was over there. He had come into the chat and we were sitting there talking and we were talking about these people doing doxing and all this stuff and how wrong it is. And I said, yeah, we know all about that. And he said, yep, the years of the roach camp. And I said, yeah. So they're doing it again. And it's
How you doing, cousin Jesse?
ridiculous. Jesse, I got Scooby snacks, Jesse. But they're crazy when they do that. I mean, I understand people getting angry and saying, okay, if that's what you want to do, you want a box, I'm right here. Let's go. Okay. I understand that. That happens. But to call in bomb threats? What is wrong with these people? Mm-mm-mm.
Uh, yeah, yeah, I know. But to know the exact location where the guy is and all that, you know, they know what he's driving, who he works for, and stuff like that. Where they're getting that information from is the thing.
Yeah. Well, it's because he worked with all of them, so he knew. He knew it right off the bat.
Cousin says, "Give them here, Brenda. The Scooby snacks."
Give him here. You want the Scooby snacks? Come and get them, Jesse. But yeah, I don't even know anymore. And they're so childish. And I even told them, y'all need to grow up. The internet is forever, and the things that you do and say on the internet is forever. Okay? You need to grow up and stop acting like this. Go ahead and make your content and do your shows and just leave people alone. How hard is this? But that
Yeah,
feeling because look at the other idiot.
yeah. It's like I was just trying to do my own thing here, and then they
Right.
started attacking me. Yeah, I think
Yep.
it all started when I brought the spiritual aspect of things. When I said that I don't think that the dog man was something that was in the flesh. There was more of the spirit, like something demonic. You know.
Yeah.
And after once I said that and on Dogman Encounters, that was the first show I ever did, and I got attacked big time by all the communities,
Right.
all the cryptic community, cryptic world attacked me. They attacked my Facebook, in which they permanently deleted my Facebook, and then I lost all my content.
Yeah. And they keep reporting the other channel, but it doesn't go very far. Um, Now, what I did went pretty far, which I think is one of the reasons why that guy hasn't streamed for a week and a half now, because I threatened YouTube themselves about ADA. And I threatened them myself and said, you don't do something about this guy. He does not have my permission to put a picture of me in a wheelchair up there on his thumbnail. And it does not get, something doesn't get done about it. I'm going to get an attorney and I'm going to sue YouTube.
So he stole one of your pictures.
And put it and made a thumbnail of it. He got angry at me because he kept wanting me to come up there on his panel and talk to him. Well, I'm sorry, but I belong to a different family. I'm not going to talk to him. I don't need to talk to him.
Cousin Jesse says it was boots around the truck.
Yeah,
It's another guy.
Yeah, it's different people. So he got mad at me and shut his stream down because I wouldn't go up there. Had a hissy fit like a child in a grocery store that doesn't get a piece of candy. And then the next day made the thumbnail of me and posted it. And I was like, oh, looky here. Because Glenn had to get my permission when he does the thumbnails for me and him to have me up there in my wheelchair. He had to get permission. This guy had no permission. And boy, I went after him. And the minute we all went up, me and the other people went up and did a show on it. And I let him know exactly what was going on and that he had not had my permission to do this. They yanked everything down. Everything. And then the girl with him, oh, I don't like her. She's fat. Hey, genius. Tell me something I don't know. Impress me, Einstein. Come up with something I don't know. You think that's going to hurt me? Yeah. Okay. But you know what? I'm still under 200 pounds and she weighs 324. So I don't even want to hear it. Yeah, I got one leg, but guess what? My socks last longer than everybody else's. Yeah, nothing. It don't bother me. Say what you will. I know who I am inside, and I like me. And you know what? If nobody likes me, well, then get on with yourself. I don't care.
Cousin just says he's recovering from a fall last Sunday.
Jesse?
He said he fell backwards in the bathroom.
I have one leg. Do I have to come out there and carry you around so you stop falling? Is that it? I think I need to take Jesse my other chair, my electric chair, so he can quit doing that crap. When he gets weak, he can sit in it and still go places. Jesse, stop falling down. You fall down more than I do. And you got two of them. Silly. I hope you're okay, though. I think I need to pray for Jesse for God to give him a set of stilts that won't quit. I think that's what he needs. Jesse.
Said he fell backwards in the bathroom.
Well,
down over there, it's pretty hot in the Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah. And if you were facing the toilet, Jesse, it's probably best that you felt backwards and not frontwards. That could have turned out very bad in your favor. So I'd rather the wall catch you than porcelain. You bust your head on one of those things, then you're going to feel it.
He said, as long as you don't kick my ass, Brenda, LOL.
I won't. I'll carry you around, though. You want me to carry you around? I'll wear you like a backpack, Jesse. We'll just throw you over my shoulder. We'll just move along. Jesse, I got to tell you, have they talked to you about doing the exercises to gain your balance back? Because when I had my stroke, that's one of the reasons why it's hard for me to stand and use my prosthetic leg. Because when I had my stroke, it took my equilibrium. But they said that they can get that back. It just takes some time. But you really should try to see if they can get you to do that. Well, Jesse, I'm older than you. Get out of here. But yeah, it's
Duval says, back, 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 back. Over the Explorer.
Deval. He's silly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
Facebook is a lot of AI on Facebook now.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. They open the floodgates of AI. It's getting worse and worse. Every time I jump on Facebook, it's just bad. You can tell it's AI. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
know. I know. But Jesse, Jesse, well, obviously, I know where you've been. If you're like me, you just fell
It's,
down and you've been sitting there because that's what I do. But we missed you over here yesterday.
Sister Caroline said it's 7:15 in Belgium. How you doing, Sister Caroline?
Oh, you're in Belgium? Nice.
She said 7:15 in the morning. What's for breakfast?
Yeah, I didn't have anything for breakfast.
Sister Anna Wilson says she's 64 and has fallen a few times in the last 3 years.
It happens. Hey, look, when I was 30, I was walking. My mother did not name me Grace for a reason. I would trip over nothing but air. Okay. I've broken so many things because I was so rough and I tripped over everything, anything that could possibly happen. The only thing I hadn't broke was my hip, my back, and my neck. Everything else off limits. Cheek, collarbone, arms, legs, ankles, feet, toes. I broke my tailbone 3 times. So yeah,
Coxy bone. Coxy bone. That's what it's called.
yeah. Well, I think when you break it once, it makes it so weak that it's easy. And I broke it. Do you remember when that Stetson's used to be there, that little bar in Harker Heights? They had a bull there, and I used to ride it. And a bunch of military guys came in there and was betting money that I couldn't stay on it for the whole time. And I was like, bet. So I got on it, and the guy that was operating it decided to halt, stop it, switch, and speed it up real fast. And when he did, it tossed me in the air, and I landed sideways on the bull where the bracket was and busted my tailbone. And that was the first time. After that, it didn't take much.
Cousin Jesse said hurts to turn my head.
Uh oh, Jesse. Did you go get checked out?
It should go get checked out. If you hit your
Yeah,
head, cousin,
you need to go
that's
checked
not
out. You
good.
don't play with your neck now.
We're gonna have to change his name to instead of Ninja to the Fall Guy. Get it?
Fall
Major
guy.
Lee, the TV series, The Fall
Yeah.
Guy.
Fall guy Jesse.
The Fall Guy starring Jesus Carvajal.
The ninja fall guy. That
He
ninja
said
fall guy.
he said no. I think he didn't go to the hospital.
You need to go to the ER.
Any impact? If you get any impact on your head, cousin, that's you should go to the hospital, man.
Okay,
Any blow
that's.
to the head.
I'm going to charge my chair to 100%. I'll be there in about 4 days, Jesse. And when I get there, I'm gonna tie a rope to your feet. And I'm gonna drag you to the ER, or you better go before I get there. That's all I'm saying. Don't think I won't find out where you live, because that's not a very big place. I will run up and down the streets yelling, Jesse! And one of your neighbors will come out and say, oh, shut up, woman. He's over there. Yeah, I know how that works. Go to the ER, Jesse. Not kidding.
Well, He said he was in the shower, taking a shower when he fell asleep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesse, put in for a shower chair.
He said, I grew up in the 80s. What doesn't kill me will make me stronger.
Yeah, okay, but your neck hurts when you turn it. We're getting older, so what hurts you might really hurt you if you don't do something about it.
There's Scott Baker. How you
Hi,
doing,
Scott.
Scotty? Scotty B.
Jesse. I knew we shouldn't have let him move that far away from me. Now I have farther to travel. Jesse, what am I going to do with you? I know what I can do. I'll start leaving Scooby snacks outside my door. Maybe eventually you'll smell them and you'll just find your way to me. That's what we'll do. Works for Scooby Doo. Silliness. But yeah, I don't know, Abe. Some people just have so much corruption in their souls. I think that's it. It's that corruption in their souls that makes them do the things that they do.
Let's see, what's for breakfast? Milk and cornflakes. Waiting at the nurse in the afternoon to farmer the grilled chicken. Ooh, still got fresh mashed potatoes and green beans.
He is a little badass, but his little badass is getting a little older. You're not allowed to boot, scoot, and boogie in the shower, Jesse. Scott, you have this black thing waving around trying to eat your brain. What is that? Your cat's tail really loves being on the string.
Sister Anna Wilson said, Brenda, where's your mystery machine so we can go get them?
I know, right? Now fire up my mystery machine, Jesse. Here we come. I'll make it worse on you, too. We'll grab Cynthia on the way. You'll have to listen to her all the way there. She's going to let you have it.
I think she had a procedure done the other day. I think it was yesterday. But she went to sleep early.
Yeah.
After a procedure that she had done.
Yeah.
We got Sister Kara Jade here.
Hi, Kara. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Jesse, I started lifting weights and doing exercise. You should join me. And
we lost Scotty.
Uh-oh, Scott
Beam
just
me up,
popped
Scotty.
out.
Beam me up, Scotty. I think they called him back up to the ship.
Maybe. His cat ran off with him.
Somebody said the cat's nose looked like Hook and Werewolf. Let's see.
Oh my God. Scott, where'd you go? The aliens take you. I think so.
You got beamed up.
Jesse is stubborn, like me. No matter what happens, we're always okay, even if it's broken and battered. That's what I say.
Am I on now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I say every time I fall, Jesse. I scream, I'm okay. Yeah. That's what I do.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hey, I was watching a video on AI. At this time, it's pretty, easy to say, well, you know, uh, AI is like a two-edged sword, or it's helping me, but I was watching this video lately, and um, as time goes on, that um, first of all, I mean, imagine this right now. You're paying everything online, right? Your banking, your utilities, buying stuff, everything is on the computer. And you wonder, I'm just throwing this out, that this AI, that this could be marked as the great deceiver in the Bible, when it says deceive even the elite, or the elect, it will even be deceived by the elect. I mean, think about this. When CNN news came on 24 hours, right? Everybody was enthralled, like, oh my God, I've got 24-hour news,
Good night,
day and night. And everybody was like glued. And I mean, even today, I've got family members that are still watching old soap operas, old TV, and you could say, well, they're, I would say, they're kind of like mind controlled or whatever. But this AI, I'm thinking that this may be, the instrument to like bamboozle everybody away from Jesus Christ. I mean, everybody that, think about this, that this technology, we all know, hopefully everybody knows that Google and the rest of this, it was all a military operation. I mean, they invented it. All the military invented all this stuff and leaked it out to the public right now. I mean, this stuff was going on 50 years ago. And, we get little, tidbits of this and that. But can you imagine that what they have, maybe an AI that's like 30 years advanced, that we don't even know of how it's able to bamboozle, even the elect, the politicians, everyone, the church members, church pastors, and we all know what, we feel about churches, right? So, I mean, it's like, they're pretty easy, right?
Right.
Pretty much. So, I don't know. I've got a feeling. I watched this video and I'm thinking, like, if the powers that be pull this trigger, I'm bringing this 50-year in advance AI out, whenever, right? And, that because if the dollar collapses or this or this or this, I mean, people are going to be like, I'm going to take whatever, I mean, I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to be, dumpster diving. I don't, you know what I mean? I mean, can you imagine how spoiled we are right now about, our lifestyles and everything that we have? And if it was brought to a broke end, and this video, this worldwide, right? Okay. So today, they can, the powers could take all the internet, all the TV, everything, and put one station on with one face, one person, whatever, and pretend this guy is, he's the man of all religions. He's God. He's, I know it sounds kind of, it's all hypothetical, right? But, with stuff going on, that this AI, new technology, that again, that we're probably seeing like only 10%. I would just say 10% of AI, and I use it. I'm even typing in like, what's the best deal on a table tennis table or whatever, right? So, what's the best sale going on or whatever, trying to, use that as a what we used to use as Google. But this thing about AI, I'm wondering that, what do you guys think about, the possibility of this AI, like, just uh, uh, just surrendering, like making people surrender their soul, to give up, you know what I mean? To give up and use, the AI will be, the controlling technological instrument, I don't know. What do you guys think? That crazy.
I try not to rely on AI too much because, well, it doesn't like me because every time I try to use it, we end up in an argument and it tells me it's done with me. So,
Well,
I
same
know
with me.
there's people that have AI girlfriends.
oh my God, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've had arguments too, about stuff like that with that, and it just kind of like shut off or never. But what if the powers that be brought in this artificial intelligence, for example, they already probably have mapped up what we like in life, what our hobbies are,
Right.
because of Facebook, right? I mean,
Yep.
I'm guilty. I got everything on Facebook, right? So, I mean, this AI is going to track me and like,
They've been tracking you already for a lot of years off
Oh,
of
yeah.
social media.
Yep.
Yeah. and this AI
Whatever you post, they know.
is going to be, oh, Scott, I'm your best table tennis friend. And, and Scott goes, really? Oh, yeah, I needed somebody to talk to table tennis about, and, oh, I remember you won that tournament back then. Remember, I mean, you never know how sophisticated this stuff could get where, this AI could be your best friend that you ever had. But it's like the Antichrist, right? It's like,
Don't be surprised if some people are going to be get married to AI girlfriends.
Right? Hey,
yeah.
I tried to chase mine away. I get out of the shower and come out here to do my hair with nothing on, and I look at my TV and say, "You better ask for a raise," because I ain't getting dressed for a while.
Well, I just was pondering that because I saw this video and I'm thinking, how would you really trick? I mean, number one, MSNBC, they got right. How many people have they tricked?
Alexander.
How many people have MSNBC tricked? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. I don't know, 50% of the population. I don't know, whatever. Whatever.
They're part of the social. I mean, they're part of the news outlets, so they're that's what they do.
Yeah, but I mean, I go home and my family is like, that's all they have on.
AI.
They have MSNBC, and it's interesting to listen to that. Because I like to see like where they're at, what this propaganda machine is doing lately, right?
Yep.
And they're just, it's sad. It's sad that
they connect the dead into life with photos. I seen a video today of Tupac rapping in The Price is Right, and Bob Barker was dancing. Yeah, Tupac was rapping and Bob Barker was dancing in The Price is Right.
I don't want to dance with Bob Barker, but I could stand for, like.
Is he
Tupac.
Is he still alive, Bob Barker, Price is Right guy?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Like 3 times I heard he died, and then now all of a sudden he really did, apparently. I don't know. That Mandela effect just gets a hold of me every time.
Well, he's alive in the AI world.
Yeah, he could be.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I thought I'd bring up this whole topic of AI because it seems like, it's going to be I think it's going to be the tool to, change, to steer people away from logic, the Bible, steer them away from, all kinds of things. And so I don't know where I'm going to go with this conversation, but I thought I'd just bring that up, just because I think it seems to be like, and I look at my own self. It seems to me like it's making it easier for me to like I used to be at work and I would ask my friend, well, how do you fix this gear, gear ratio on something, right? Something would do my maintenance. They were like, they would scream, they would yell back or something, say, well, look it up. Why don't you go learn about it? Go look it up. See what I mean? So I was asking them kind of like AI, ask instead of like learning myself on a task or learning something and be, independent on thought, that I was asking. I mean, that's just a hypothetical thing I was doing, but I think it's something like that. Like you're asking like the easy way out, and getting, and I think that's happened to me quite a few times. I'd have to think about it, on not researching it myself or something else of that nature of just using. But I'm thinking this AI is going to be like it's like a crutch.
Well,
that it's going to like help people, with all this stuff. But and I found out this AI also, it's and that goes along with this Wikipedia. I think that was the first thing that I noticed in Google, that it wasn't always right. This Wikipedia, they give the dates or things that happened and so forth. And I was personally there at some of these events, and they said the Wikipedia said that never happened. So I don't know if that's AI, a pre-AI kind of instrument.
That's not AI. That's people behind Wikipedia.
Yeah.
They manipulate the information. That was before AI came out. Wikipedia was known for doing that.
But again, like, Alexander, before you came on the show, is these elites may have AI that's 30 years ahead of us right now, that they can start bringing into the, this world that we live in right now, that, it's going to blow us away, meaning like it's going to entrap us.
They want to connect us basically with a transhumanism, make us part of the machine, and I think some people are going to be choosing that path, to being chipped. I don't know if you know the surveillance system in China. Do you know what it's called? The face recognition, all the cameras connected.
Yeah, the facial recognition. Yeah, the FOSS. What's it called? FOSS.
All the cameras in China with the face recognition, everything. That system is called Skynet.
Okay, and they have the same thing over here now with all those cameras.
Yeah, I saw the cameras are popping everywhere, but there's people going around destroying them. Same with the 5G towers. I know in England there were people going around destroying them, and in Peru, I think they passed a law to ban 5G towers because it was affecting people and it also affect plants. So they banned it there, but not a lot of people know about that.
Well, I think I lived in Asia way back when, but in those countries, it's a high density population per square mile, not like America is. America it's so spread out, and the population centers are not like anything like in China. So this whole technology that they have about, and these people, they're very robotic too. The way, it's the whole culture that they have.
Right.
And I think that, you know, the American lifestyle or the American government, you know, has recognized how kind of efficient that is in such a way that they're bringing a lot of that from China, you know, into, you know, this American lifestyle. I mean, that's just my opinion. What I see.
Here's the problem. Everything that they come out with, AI, you know, credit systems, all that stuff, all of it can be used two ways. It can be used for good or it can be used for bad. I think that it is all depends on whose hands it's in. Okay.
Well, I don't know about the AI. I can say yes, it can be used for good. Yes, like a lot of technology, but the
Right.
social credit system
No.
that I doubt
That's them
that
kind of.
because we don't,
Well, that's
yeah, we don't have that in Cuba. I think the U.S. is the only one that have that. It's not in the Netherlands
I don't
either.
have it.
And also there's a lot of, well, in America you have a credit system there,
Oh
but
no,
in
we
China,
have a
if
big bank and people that have lots of money that think it's okay to steal our money. That's what we have.
you have more problems than that. But
Oh
in
yeah.
In China, if you complain about the government or say something, they just lock you out of the system, and you cannot travel, go anywhere. You're blocked, and there's a lot of people living on the streets in China because of that, of the post. So that system, they want to bring like a control system where they know where you are, what you're doing, what you're buying, everything. That's basically it. But the people need to wake up to that and start, I don't know, smashing the cameras.
Right.
But yeah, in America, there's a lot of. I saw in Dearborn, there was a Muslim gathering there. They think they're going to be electing a Muslim mayor. So there's another problem there with the Muslim because they didn't came to assimilate. They came to take over. And so yeah, there's more than one issues happening there in the
Yeah.
U.S. I know in Texas, there's a lot of mosque that has
Well,
popped up in the last few
we
years.
don't have as many as they're putting in the news that we have. I will tell you that. And they are
You have a
fighting.
neighborhood there.
They are fighting to stop them. And most of the Muslims are staying around Dallas area because when they come out further, and they get
We,
into where the country folk are, they
we the
get beat
people.
up. Yeah, they get beat up and they go home.
They have a neighborhood in Texas that's fully Muslim with Arabic name and
And they
everything.
can stay right where they are because they come any closer and they end up getting beat up. So, and it's already happened several times. The thing of it is, and I will tell you this, there are Muslim women here in America that I would protect with my life because they left from there to get away from that. And they come here and they live normal, average, everyday American lives. They don't want that here either. They had to fight to get away from it. So,
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of them still brainwashed and want the same Sharia law where they left. You have a
yeah,
lot of
well,
them
then they
like
can
that
stay
too.
over there with those men or they can go the hell home because we don't want them here.
Well, that's the problem with them. They complain about America, but they don't want to left.
Yeah.
See how hypocritical
It's like,
that
get
is?
out. They don't like the way we do things in Texas. They don't like the fact that all of the citizens out here are armed. They don't like that. Well, get
If
out.
they had their way, they were trying to pass a law in Texas, but it was stopped to ban pork, ban gambling, ban casinos. They wanted to
Yeah,
pass that
that's
law.
not going to work
And
out here. Sorry.
yeah, they say gambling is the devil and eating pork is the
Oh,
devil.
but them beheading American people are just so righteous, right? That's righteous?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so.
yeah.
That's worse than racism, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's say
Uh,
death to America, right? That means everybody that's
No,
American.
no.
oh
I
yeah, the people that gather in Dearborn, the 40,000 Muslim there, they were chanting "Death to America." So why the hell are you in America?
well,
Why don't you take your shit and
yeah.
back to your stupid ass?
And I'm going to tell you, I
Yeah,
know Muslim people that live here that don't act like that and that are here legally. that took that oath to be American, and they live
They don't
Americanized.
outreproduce us, man. They
So
said they outreproduce us. That's why they're here. No,
the what?
Oh yeah, that's true.
no.
That's one of their tactics. They come in, they don't work. Most of them don't work. They live off
Yeah,
the
they
government,
do.
and they produce a lot of children. The man can have like 6 wives, and all of them has like 5 children. So do the math. In 10, 20 years, they'll be more than you. And then they will be asking, oh, Sharia law, because they have their people in all the
Well,
places. That's already starting to do that
our
now.
our
Indeed,
government needs to
you,
cut them off. If he wants to stay here and support all those women and all those children, well, he better get a good job. I mean, period. That is where it stands. Our government needs to cut them off. Our government needs to tell them if they're going to be here, they need to work a
But you
job.
know, our government is ate up because
Yeah, it is.
you get people that allow people marry with other people that you know it's crazy.
It
That's
is.
Obama that did that. And Obama and Biden.
yeah, Obama was Muslim. Obama was
Yes, he was.
Muslim,
Yeah,
and
Yep.
really, when
I
I was
think
out
he did.
there,
No, I knew it before he was elected. They had
like in
you know how they have where people sit there and they do their debates? They had the American flag up there and they were doing the Pledge of Allegiance. And I watched this man that was not yet president drop his hands, put them behind his back, and turn his back to the American flag. And they still voted his ass in. What?
Yeah, I didn't. People were like in during Obama time, because there's a lot of Americans that comes to Aruba for vacation, and I was working at the engineer department at the Hyatt Hotel, and they come across me and they were like, "Hey, aren't you happy that Obama's become president, the first Black American?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't care, and he's black." But after 3 months, I was for sure that he was bought off, because he ran on getting troops out of the Middle East, and he sent more troops in. And then Alex Jones dropped the documentary called The Obama Deception, and there you could see
which
clearly how he lies.
Joan Rivers got killed by
Yep.
him because she
Yep.
called Big Mike
Yep. She called it out. We already have a gay president.
right off the bat. She
Yep.
said that's a guy, Big Mike, and then she went
Oh
up
yeah,
dead.
Yep. Everybody knows Michelle
yeah.
Obama's a guy. Yep. She said it.
You know what Obama says? That Muslims was a big part of building America. You believe that, Wayne?
What?
I know they were. I know the Muslim were the first that America as a nation went to war against, and that was the Barbary Wars, because they were enslaving Americans at the coast, and America went to war with them twice. You don't get that in
Oh
school.
my God.
Yeah, and there's a problem with the Muslim in the Europe too, in France, Belgium, England, Sweden, Spain.
Yep.
Spain, I think the people there are getting ready to get activated, reactivated.
Well,
The Reconquista. There's a priest in Spain that has called for a Reconquista, the
oh
Crusaders.
boy.
I think a lot of people gotta get activated, because there's a lot of shit happening in Europe with them people. They don't assimilate. They treat women bad. There's a lot of abuse. Women cannot walk on the street safe. So and it is because of the politician that's sold out
Right.
to the world agenda. You can say what's called the replacement theory, which is a replacement fact now. They want to destroy the Christian nation. Basically, that's what they want to do. But are they gonna succeed? Hell no.
Right.
And they will not succeed.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of the United States Corporation, where they incorporated this country by, the city of London, Vatican, and the Washington, D.C.? Have you guys studied any of that?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. The city of basically the Washington D.C. is the military superpower of the world. City of London is the financial power, and Vatican is the religion power. but and they're their own district, own city, own
Right.
country, you can say, own laws, or they have their own police, everything. But there's few other places that I found out there's also like the city of London that they have their own police, own laws, and one of the other places is called BIS, international investment something that is also owned. They manage like BlackRock but bigger. A lot of people don't know about them, but they're also like the Vatican.
Yeah, because I heard about this like 3 years ago. There was a guy that did a seminar at Arizona University, and I think he might have been taken out. I'm not sure, but he talked about all this, the Social Security card, the birth certificate, everything, how the courts work, maritime law, as opposed to natural law, all this sorts of stuff. And oh my God, and it's all out there, and it's very interesting that the courts, mainly it's the court systems and the judges that whatever laws, whatever you and I, we're all sitting here arguing about, well, this is what the government should do, or this is what the Supreme Court or the lower courts or the legislatures, they're all bought out. I mean, it's such a scam that I don't know how you would ever fix that. The U.S. is an incorporated business run by the Federal Reserve, and
You have to make it abolish it and reform it.
Yeah,
Abolish the
they really
Fed.
need to do. I was talking to somebody last night. Did a lot of music gig thing at the church, at this church, and there almost needs to be a constitutional convention, a whole the whole government system, bringing this whole constitutional convention, reorganizing, because they're even saying that, I think it's Amendment 4 or one of these constitutional amendments were put in by the U.S. Corporation of the U.S. Corporation of America, which is like illegal. I forget what it was. It's just recently stuff. I mean, you'd have to look into it. There's so much about that, and that I don't see any of that getting any kind of attraction, on Tucker or any of these other people, Joe Rogan, and these people are like, they're all making six figures, and I think they're all mouthpieces too for the the people running over BlackRock, like I said, this world elite business that's going on. So but yeah, it's very interesting how this country really. There was a guy many years ago. I went to see this guy because in Phoenix, when I moved here, not only was a lot of new age stuff, but they had a lot of independent new thinkers, and were exposing a lot of stuff, conspiracies and so forth. And there was a man called Lloyd Pyle, and he wrote a book called Everything You Know Is Wrong. I don't know if you remember that, Brenda, at all?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So, and this was concerning the Art Bell show, that they had Art Bell chat clubs in every city. And I actually joined, and I was like the treasurer in Phoenix of this Art Bell chat club kind of stuff, and, they had Navajo, Indian chiefs, a lot of stuff, a lot of, different backgrounds, thoughts, and so forth. But anyways, this guy wrote this book, and I'll give you an example. Like there was like one page, or they've described of, they found a mechanical cog, almost like a clock, mechanical piece embedded in the rock, that the rock had melted around it, and this bronze mechanical piece was dated like, in BC, so it's like, where did this mechanical piece came from? I'm just talking about earlier civilizations, right? So all these kinds of things that they were finding out, through archaeology, they were coming across, things that don't belong in this, in the, the centuries that we thought back in the past, that's where it came from. But it came from, thousands and thousands of years before that. So this earth that we live on, is like, the dates are so wrong. It's unbelievable. So anyways, this guy wrote this book about all these sorts of things, that everything, and I mean, I remember, going to a lot of these seminars and believing like this is true, this stuff, but it's like I couldn't talk to anybody about this stuff, and
Maybe the
but
weekend.
the Phoenix is very, it's. I always ask myself, like, why am I also here for? Is this a spiritual hub in the United States for, this I get the spirit of God, just the truth, the truth seekers, and. It's kind of like I met this guy last night, and he's a fellow musician, and we always cross paths at different folk festivals and so forth. But he brought up chemtrails or something, and I'm going like, wow, that's interesting, because mainly all the musicians that I know, they've got their head in their sand. They have no clue of what's going on, and there's very few of the musicians that I know of. That had I kind of chime with this chemtrail program, because I called when I moved here. I called the city of Phoenix Airport, Sky Harbor, to find out who controls the airspace over Arizona, and I got through to the tower, and they said Albuquerque, New Mexico controls all the airspace over this Phoenix, Arizona. I'm thinking, well, how come? It's not a state of Arizona controlling their own airspace. It's another state. So again, that whole conspiracy thing got me going. So I started tracking all this chemtrail stuff. Not to get off topic, but I would tell my family all this stuff about chemtrailing and all this, and they just laughed. They never believed me, even to this day.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
But you have to because I've been talking about this for a long time with my family, and in 2012, 11, they didn't understand, but now they all see it, But you have to explain it like there's a difference between chemtrails and contrails. Contrails is condensation trails. Due to the heat difference,
But Alexander, you don't know my family. They're watching MSNBC.
Oh, well, they have disclosed on NBC or on the mainstream media about cloud seeding. So if they have to see it on NBC, maybe you show.
I'm just saying, they're programmable people, and
they took the jab. They took the jab.
I never really asked about that, because it's kind of a touchy subject. Your family members. You still have to deal with your family. But, well, there's different batches too. The Pfizer was the killer. There was like the Johnson & Johnson, I believe, because they forced the military to take all these shots. And I think the military took the Johnson & Johnson, which was like a fake one. It had saline solution in it, I think. But a lot of the military people, they were under that subjection of having to get the shot, to stay in the military. And, but anyways, getting back to, my family members or whatever is, I I started research in 1998. That they were sprayed, and I even was flying in the regular airlines where we were flying into that chemtrail stuff. And the pilot said, well, we have to fly above this because we're getting a lot of turbulence, and, but it was all across America. I mean, even when I went to North Carolina years ago, it was Arizona, Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia, all the way. It was West Coast to East Coast spraying.
Yeah, but now also, yeah, they're spraying all over. But now there's few things that you can bring forward with the difference between contrails and chemtrails. If it's natural, it would evaporate within less than 3 minutes. If it's chemical, it will stay there.
Well, I tried to explain this to one of the welders at work, he was military, Navy, and and everything, and it was like, he didn't get it.
No, but here's the thing. Here's a fact that you can bring up. If it's a conspiracy theory and it's fake, why is it that Tennessee passed a law to ban chemtrails or geoengineering spraying?
Well, that was recently in the last 5 years or what, right?
No, that was in 2024.
Okay, so 5 years, let's just say. But I'm just saying, this stuff went on and on and on, and I used to tell these guys at work would just think I was crazy, And then I even showed them, like, you put welder, look through the sun and start looking with welding glasses on and look at the sun. There's something next to the sun. There's another sun behind the sun, and it comes out at a certain time. And those guys are like, you're crazy, So it's like, the people that are in the military, they're the hardest ones to try to change. I mean, family members, because they don't want, I was a kind of a black sheep at work, and I was always a thorn in the side, or for where I work, because I always spoke up, for truth, and many times, a couple times I got fired at jobs because of that. But the thing of it is we're sent by God to understand wisdom and truth, and I bring that out to my fellow workers, and they don't want to get involved with it, or how that is, because if they associate with that with like me, then word gets around, and you're stereotyped and so forth. But yeah, I mean, the guys that workers, the only people that I got along with were the Native American Indians that we picked up as inmates that were DWI, they were in a private prison system. And I always got along with those people because, number one, not that they may not know about, chemtrails, whatever, but the spiritual unction that they had in them, that they were so spiritually grounded that they kind of knew, like, they may have not known that, but they like, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. You know what I mean? They're like way above intelligence, like, than a normal,
They're more open-minded.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that. And
oh yeah, you said you're from Arizona, or you live in Arizona right now. Have you heard of the Egyptian artifact that they found in Grand Canyon there?
Well, there's been a lot of the artifacts in those caves that Dr. Kincaid guy found, and then they closed all that off,
Yes.
So people are speculating that there's a tunnel that runs from Egypt all the way under the ocean to the Grand Canyon. under the ground. And a lot of these artifacts, that there's like underground subway system, I shouldn't say subway systems, underground tunnels that link other parts of the world. And a lot of this stuff is, under the ground, under the Grand Canyon and stuff like that. So, and a lot of the Mormons believe that, Egypt was here, was in, parts of Utah. So, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, you get into a lot of different religious type of things, but the Mormons are pretty, there's a lot of information that, that they have too, about earlier civilizations. And, but yeah, the Grand Canyon has got a lot of that. I have a friend that flew an airplane. He's a pilot. And he said back in the 40s, or I think it was the 50s, he flew his plane down into the Grand Canyon. He had like a 4-seater Piper, kind of these planes, kind of like the one Buddy Holly died in, I guess, whatever model that is. And he flew down into the Grand Canyon, which was legal back then. And, but I never really asked him, about, what he saw or whatever. But, when you do fly, if you take a helicopter down there and you see these caves, that are there, and, but they're everything is banned. It's all banned by, the military, that stuff's all sealed off. And they did that way back in the 50s, where that guy, they found the mummies of the giants and all of this kind of stuff, but again, Phoenix is like, they had all these bookstores, all this kind of stuff when I moved here. And I was very intrigued with all this archaeology, because I took archaeology and anthropology and stuff in college, zoology, biology, all this science stuff. And so out here in Arizona, I was like, man, this state is so mystical. It's got so much crazy stuff here. And I also heard that there's a city under Phoenix. That's why they call it Phoenix, because Phoenix the bird, rising from the ashes. That right now downtown they can't build because there's an ocean underneath. That's why they don't have skyscrapers in downtown Phoenix, because I don't know if it's an ocean, but it's like a huge lake, and they can't drill. They can put the pylons down far enough. But there, in the ancient times, Phoenix was like a part of that, Mexico, the Aztec, culture, all that kind of stuff. I mean, going way back. So yeah, there's a lot of history here in Phoenix that, they even have a Roswell crash that happened here in Paradise Valley, they call it. And they covered that all up. That was during the same time Roswell crashed. And I went to see a seminar, and the guy, it created a portal in Paradise Valley, and these aliens were trapped in between the rock, and when it crashed, they were. I don't know if you know about the Philadelphia experiment, but they say literally some of these people were trapped in the metal and they couldn't get out. They were half in and out of this. I don't know if you knew that. If you read that.
I know about the Philadelphia experiment.
Well, the same thing happened in Paradise Valley, where these aliens, and they had they were like short and they had square heads, and they were trapped in these rocks. They couldn't get out, and they closed. The army came in and they changed Scottsdale Road. And because I worked with the Historical Society, and I looked in their archives, I could not find anything regarding that, because I was like a sneaky investigator, and But yeah, there was certainly a crash, and they hardly publicized this at all. It's in Paradise Valley, and it's called the Dreamy Draw Dam they have there. But this, what they did is the doctors and the nurses, they all had to strip down and be naked and pour iodine over all their bodies when they went to take care of these aliens, to put them in, to capture them or whatever. And what they did, one of the doctors, they had a picture frame, and what he did, he drew out all what happened in the crash, and he put it in a picture. So, it was like a picture frame, but within the frame, he had the whole, and they laid it out on the table when I went to the seminar, and they showed it was like a frame by frame by frame of the crash victims and what the doctors and nurses did, to cover up this whole thing. It was exactly the same time as the Roswell crash. And this spread, it was about, I would say, 7 feet long, but it had pictures of all these different things that they did to protect themselves from the radiation, because the iodine, but they had to work in the nude. They couldn't wear clothes or anything like that. So they had this guy, he made all the sketches and drawings about, and then smuggled it out. But this was a print. This is a printout of that, of the copy of that. So I thought, again, I put it up on the shelf, and all this stuff, I put it up on the shelf. But just getting back to Arizona, and not even, Sedona, and this whole state is got a lot of mysterious stuff, a lot, the mountain ranges. And it's funny, some of these mountain ranges that they have, they're sheared off almost like they're like, you could land, definitely land a helicopter on these mountains, but they're leveled off, like just like decapitated, like by some laser, it looks like. And I don't know if you can fly, land an airplane on these mountains, but they're like, because usually mountains are like that, right? Well, this is like they're just sheared off. So it's kind of really strange that these could have been buildings that were melted, in that, if you want to call it the mud flood, or if you're into that kind of stuff, that reset of some kind of melting of I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They have a lot of that in Phoenix, and
Tataria.
Yeah. And the Native American Indians, this guy, I talked with him, and even the base. We have a lot of these mountains that look like they're melted. They call them the Papago Bluffs, and they definitely look like that. Some high heat came and just liquefied. Because there's a certain area where they have, back in the 30s, you can go in the archives and look, they used to have church meetings outside these bluffs. But what's interesting, they have these steps that almost the melting didn't get to those steps. And these steps are like gigantic, and they go up like there's many flights of, and they're made out of rock or whatever kind of rock. And they go up to like nowhere. So it's, again, this state's got a lot of, it's got a lot of mysterious stuff. But yeah, there's
you have pyramids. I know this step pyramid in Kohakio, I think in Illinois. You have a step pyramid there. Have you heard of the Kandahar giant?
Well, Abe has talked about that giant business, about the but I believe this, that the Bible says there were giants, and I think that that there could have been some genetic. Here's the thing. Think about this. Even through the movies, like if they had found something and taken the DNA and try to resurrect something, they could possibly do that with the technology of resurrecting, dinosaurs or whatnot.
Resurrecting, I wouldn't call it resurrecting. I would call it just cloning.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of we just don't know. The public. I mean, why are these scientists even all being murdered? Right? Lately, all these scientists. So they were privy about something, and that would be a very interesting topic to research. These. I'm just jumping around a little bit, but these scientists that are
But they've been killing scientists for different reasons for a long time already. It has to do with healing devices that they developed that would end the pharmaceutical industry, or scientists that linked the vaccine with autism, and also last scientists or doctors that have speak against the jab. Also, few of them that has mysteriously died, and you have also astronomers that has been killed.
Yeah.
Also,
it's funny about this whole jab issue. Since you brought it up, there hasn't been one person arrested, right? Not one. Not one. Not one.
Well, their time is gonna come, because I didn't forget, and you have people like in the Netherlands. Bill Gates was brought up there. He has to test it, but they're doing everything to fight those people off. They put the lawyers in jail now in Netherlands, but he had to testify in court against Bill Gates for atrocious act against humanity.
That's genocide, man.
So that's
genocide.
It was a military biological weapon, basically.
It's still, it was approved by the government.
Yeah, the FDA, all of them are involved. For all the pharmaceutical companies.
That's what they did.
I haven't forgot. A lot of people died, and there's a lot of women now getting miscarriage. It also alters your DNA. A lot of people have blood clot, heart problems. So it has caused a lot of things. Also with the cancer, people are getting super cancer. No, it's the stupid jab that spread it faster through the body.
I think I got a video somebody posted, and they were pissed off. I don't know y'all want to see it because he was cussing and stuff, but he's dealing with the Fushi, the guy that looks like one of the characters from either from Lord of the Rings or from Harry Potter. That's what it looks like, one of those characters. Fushi or Fauci, whatever the hell his name is.
But not one has been arrested. Not one.
But you see now, the people that took the jab are still, some of them are defending Fauci, Dr. Fauci, or he's not a doctor. He's just a corrupt person, satanic person. But you saw he split the fifth 111 times. I thought he was confident going and speaking, for what he done. He was confident in all his decision that he made, but apparently not, because he plead the fifth. So how are you gonna trust that guy? But now everybody is seeing for what he is. And the guy that invented the PCR test, Gary Mullis, he also talked shit about Fauci. He said that he's not a doctor, he's just a corrupt puppet. And right before the convict start, he mysteriously died, the inventor of PCR test. So the PCR test, they were, testing people on running it on a higher cycle. If you do that, you can get anything of the person out, And afterwards, after a year or so, they lower the cycle, I think from 36 to 20 or lower. And then mysteriously, the convict, positive people were, the case dropped down. Yeah, nothing is a coincidence. But it went further, because that has also to do with 5G. Coincidentally, Wuhan, China is the first city in the world to go 5G. So it's not a coincidence. Oh yeah, by his love says, what's your color tie? I plead the fifth. That's literally what they asked him, because he wouldn't answer anything. He couldn't even answer what color his tie was, what he was wearing. And here's another thing I found out. People, do your own research. Everything I'm talking about, do your own research. Dr. Fauci is apparently the son of Mother Teresa. And Mother Teresa wasn't really a holy person either. She was also involved with human trafficking. And if you this photo, you see Mother Teresa with Robert Maxwell, which is the father of Ghislaine Maxwell, which they work for the Mossad, which is the handler of Jeffrey Epstein. They're all in cahoots with each other. And Dr. Fauci wife is the sister of Ghislaine Maxwell. Ah, look it up.
Yeah, and again, you don't hear Tucker talking about that.
No, Tucker, I think, is bought by Qatar money.
Joe Rogan, all these people. Stu Peters.
They're all part of the same.
You name it. They're
same
all
people.
getting paid.
All pedos, man. They're all pedos. All those people.
Well, what you call them is control opposition.
Yeah.
That's what they are. The control opposition. The thing that you
Well,
have.
what do you think about Alex Jones? Is he? I mean, is he? He basically got kicked off his show, right? There's no more. First of all, there was a show called Prison Planet. That was his first show, and then the second show was InfoWars, and then both Prison Planet and InfoWars merged, and then when Obama came in, I think he started banning everything. Obama was like the worst thing that ever happened to this country. And he got rid of.
And there was an American guy. I have an American neighbor. He's a liberal. He told me that Obama is going to go down to the best president in American history. And he was thinking because I was like, yeah, Obama. I was no, Obama is going to go down as the worst one. I think Trump is going to go as the best one.
I think he brought in the Marxist, ideology. He was and this is my opinion, but I think getting back to this Dr. Fauci, isn't he a Jesuit?
Oh, good. No, I don't. He's probably because
he's part of that Knights of Malta, I think, because they're the military police of the Vatican.
Yes and no. It's the Jesuit that's controlled the Vatican. There was one guy that Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates were having meeting with, and there was the one guy. Not a lot of people know about him, but in the Vatican you have three popes. You have the white pope, which is publicly known. You have the black pope, which is the general of the Jesuit order, and then you have the gray pope, which is Pepe Orsini, the Orsini family, which is higher than the Rockefeller and the Rothschild. They are the one that control everything. I think they're distant from Persian. But Dr. Fauci was walking with the Black Pope, which is the military division of the Vatican. And Candace Owens was married in a Jesuit church. I think Candace Owens is also a part of Jesuit.
It's very logical that you can see, like, how do these people, first of all, I've been on this internet for a long time, and all of a sudden, these people pop out of nowhere, and they have this interesting, subject matters, and like Candace Owens or Stu Peters or Joe Rogan, all these people, they just come out of the woodwork, like, Alex Jones was kind of the forerunner of of the podcaster, organization. He goes kind of way back to, the early 90s. But these other people are like, they come out of nowhere. And then they also admit, well, I work for the CIA, and all these podcasters are like, they're all ex-CIA people, and they're admitting this too. So it's kind of like they're set up. Once they retire, they're given these jobs as disinformation agents. That's what I believe. And but But
Yeah, that's called Operation. What's called Mockingbird?
yeah,
Mockingbird.
yeah,
Operation, I'm
Operation
going to
Mockingbird.
bullshit you.
yeah.
No, have you heard of Operation Mockingbird? There was a plan of the CIA to infiltrate all the media around the world to control it, push misinformation. That's a real operation. It's called Operation Mockingbird.
I've heard of all those people, and I never tune into them, man. A lot of people, I don't tune in. I just focus in my relationship with
Well,
the Heavenly Father, man.
I do. I do.
But you could tell,
Yeah.
just like the guy that got killed, that got shot, whatever, supposedly got killed, he was no different than them.
Who? What, Charlie
Yeah,
Kirk?
he was no different than them.
How you
It
mean?
was the same as them. Of all the people
Well,
that
he
I
was
mentioned,
no, I don't think he was the same as them. He was pushing Christian values and family values and talking about Jesus Christ and all of those things positive, which is against the establishment with what they're pushing with more than two genders and against the family and things like that. So they had to take him out. So Charlie Kirk was not part of them. That's why they took him out.
Well,
He was making a difference in the youth. He was going to school and talking with the youth, which is the future of America, and talking about Jesus and Christian values and family values. I followed Charlie Kirk long before they took him out. So I know. He was a good speaker.
well, what I know about Charlie Cook, just to chime in a little bit about it, I never had heard about this guy until a couple speaking engagements that he had, like this movement that he had.
Turning Point USA.
I guess, maybe I was watching the wrong thing, or, I mean, I'm not into everything, but I do find out that certainly his wife, his wife, I mean, he owned a house in Scottsdale, Arizona. And that's the thing. That's like, I never heard of this guy, and I live in Arizona, right? So it's funny that, but yeah, she's linked to all this, this operative, elite stuff. And she's like,
I've looked into
she's
it.
like
She's
one of these, what the Russian operatives used to use women to entrap people and so forth. Yeah, honeypot stuff. Yeah, but my biggest was the actual shooting that he was assassinated. To me, it's still a mystery on what happened to him, because there's no blood trail. If he did get shot, I mean, they show, and the guy takes all the cameras down, and there's been no investigation. They scrubbed this university place clean, and supposedly there was a hatch down below his seat there where he could have been dragged down there. I mean, he could be still alive. That's what I'm saying. Like, but I thought this guy on the roof shooting with a high power rifle, that ain't gonna work. That was totally bogus. But this whole thing about his assassination investigation.
So you're saying, Brother Scott, that it was staged?
Well, it was beyond. Well, it I wouldn't say staged, but the cover up is massive. It's massive, the cover up, because no one. I mean, yeah, I agree with Alex on that. He was, because he started talking in a negative way to Israel, and that's what they got orders to probably take him out, because he was going against the Israeli their agenda, and so they took him out at the time, and that's very provable, because There's a lot of videos on that. That's very provable. But it's still, the way he got shot is, I have seen like at least 6 or 7 investigations on how he got shot at different angles and this or that. And I'm still, I even put my 2 cents in.
They're saying, what about the Trump ear? I think that was staged too.
Well, I think that's the thing. Okay, let me go. Jesse says Project Mockingbird, Obama made it legal for the media to push propaganda on us. That's right. So that now Operation Mockingbird is legalized thanks to Obama. But come back to Trump. Yeah, I think they tried to kill him because the bullet that missed him killed a person in the back. One person was killed. And okay, let's look at what happened around that with the whole scene. Trump did a lot of rally, right? Non-CNN or the mainstream media decided to live stream. It was that one that they decided to live stream it. Like they had some information, something's gonna happen.
Sister Mary's Angel said that was fake as hell to me too. Ears don't grow back.
Okay. It's for me. It's kit the ear, but okay, and they can do operation to fix it.
No, I think he had like a plastic bag. A lot of the, I was involved with a lot of the military medical teams, and they have a lot of small blood packs. They're fake blood packs that they can put. They use dummies and they practice a lot of this, EMT stuff on people. And definitely he had one of these blood packs, that he pressed his ear. He had it in his hand, and then fake. But that was fake. He didn't get, people say he got shot. I don't believe that. But
I do believe that because what I just mentioned with CNN broadcasting decided to broadcast that specific event rally. And the second thing, which is the icing on the cake, is a company in Texas base that sold 1 or 2 days before that, sold all the stocks of Truth Social. And what that would have happened if Trump got killed that day, the people would have made a lot of money that sold it. But Trump didn't get shot. Got shot, but didn't die. And what happened? The stocks went up. So the people then lost a lot of money.
Right.
And then the company put a statement, oh, we made an error. It wasn't an error. They banked on Trump getting killed to make money out of it. But it backfired. So those 2 things are showing clearly that there were a group behind it, tried to eliminate Trump at that moment. But it didn't go as planned because there was a divine intervention that took place.
Well, all I know is when you look at the shooters involved, like the one at Butler, Pennsylvania, this kid, he's up on the roof, right? Same kind of guy that was up on the roof at Charlie Kirk's, same kind of guy. You start looking at the same, shooter, and you can count like 7, shooting that it's the same, not the same kid, but it's the same age, same white guy, same, nerdy guy, whether it's, all these types of shootings. So it's always a pattern, when you start to see a pattern, like it's, it's either Mossad, CIA, or they're merging, who knows, the mafia, CIA, they're all together. So it's, you see this, this type of shooter at Butler, he's up and I'm in a building maintenance and stuff, and they have the cops everywhere. And you see this kid, he's climbing up the roof, on top of a building. A janitor could see what was going on. And you have police everywhere, and they got this guy. Now, again, he could be working for the Trump team as a diversion. We don't know how many layers this is. Just like you were talking about the stock, options and stuff. it could be another layer of disinformation too. I mean, you have to really put everything on the shelf. But when I look at his ear, if there's a sniper and that bullet comes that close to your ear, half of your head is blown off, man. I mean, not with that, not with that 30-06 or whatever. It's a 322. So he had something in his hand. He had something in his hand to make fake blood or whatever. And then, but again.
But that's the thing. But one person behind him got killed. The bullet was real.
Well,
and also, the third thing is that his security team, was female. They didn't get much training. Most of them weren't people that could cover him. They were in length. They were smaller than him in length, and they didn't got much training.
Remember,
they weren't his real security.
Remember,
team.
Alexander, you and me, we weren't there.
But I'm telling you,
I know you're hearing it from other people, a third source. But here's the thing:
what I look at the incident, the security team, how they acted, and then the information and then the stock, and then CNN.
Right. But if you were there, or I was there, that information that we would see would never get on the internet.
Well, it would get, but it would. A lot of information do come on the internet, but it doesn't go to the mainstream.
No, it's not even that. They track your IPS address, and they hear you talking on the phone. I've had my phone bugged before, and this was back in Iowa. But what I'm saying, if you were there or I was there, and we saw what was really going on, okay. It would just be hearsay between you and your family. You'd be talking,
No, if we were there and started talking, when we see things, then maybe we would get visited by the FBI or CIA.
Well, of course that. But I'm just saying, that would never get on any kind of media show. Never.
Well, yeah, that's why I just said the media. You can see it on the internet. There's going to be people talking about internet, but it's not going to reach the big audience through to the media because the media is controlled. It's the same with the Las Vegas shooting, that they pin it on one guy standing in the room shooting at people under. You remember that incident that went quiet afterwards?
Right.
They didn't hear it much in the media. You heard about the Las Vegas shooting? Well, what I heard, there were people on the ground saying there were people also, there were more than one people shooting, not only one from the room on top, but there were people on the ground shooting also in the helicopter. Right. But the media didn't report that.
Well,
yeah, there's a lot of things the media is not going to report. You have to do your own research. Like 9/11, how many buildings came down in New York? People will say 2, but it's actually 3. And the last one wasn't hit by a plane.
Yeah.
Building number 7.
And
then you have the Pentagon. The Pentagon, they say, was hit by a plane. But I saw footage before the FBI confiscated it that it was a missile that hit Pentagon. And the section that it hit Pentagon, they had evidence of where the $2 trillion disappeared. A day before, September 10, they mentioned, $2 trillion disappeared. We don't know where it is. And the next day, 9/11 happened, and the section where they know they can trace it in Pentagon, that got blown up.
Well,
coincidence.
That
I don't believe
that day that happened. 9/11 is. I was sitting. I think I was at home. I turned the TV on, and I noticed something peculiar about the plane hitting that tower, because the way the plane looked, the shadow that it casted, it looked real strange. But later on, what I saw, then I became a little bit more investigated. So I started watching a lot of videos. Now remember, Obama, when he came into the presidency, he started banning a lot of YouTube channels. he was the first president to ban, like go crazy about banning YouTube channels. And that includes free movies that are on YouTube, everything. This guy did everything like that. But I started to like look at every video that people would take and put up. And one thing I have never seen again was the Pentagon. There was a footage of a helicopter that, okay, you guys have all seen the missile, or it's not really a missile. It's kind of an airplane without wings. It's kind of, I forget the name of the missile, but the fuselage on this is very huge, but it's got very.
Is the Tomahawk? The Tomahawk?
Yeah, no. This is, you can look it up, but it looks like. But let me get. It's definitely. Let's just say it's definitely a missile, all right? But here's the footage that I saw that I've never ever seen again, because they scrubbed it real quick. That there was a helicopter above the Pentagon, and it actually was photographing the missile coming in from the other direction. Meaning this was, you can tell it was not an airplane at all. That this missile, because the videos that we all see are coming in at, you're seeing like you're watching a missile like from every angle but the real angle. And the real angle was, there was a helicopter, and I believe it was military, that was videotaping this missile coming in, but actually you saw this coming in, and you were almost like in back of the Pentagon, up high, basically. You know what I mean? You're seeing the missile coming in on the opposite direction, but it's like close up. And I saw that, and then after a couple of days, it was gone. I could never find it again. You never find that video again anywhere. So it proves that, there wasn't no plane flying under, the wires and the telephone poles and all that kind of stuff. That was all garbage. And but yeah, there's a certain missile you can look up. It's it has a big fuselage, and it's square on the side, and it's no, it's not a Tomahawk. This is huge. This is big. This is like it's like a.
But you don't know the name of the missile.
Oh, you can look it up. I'd have to look it up. I mean, you could look up the Air Force and see something very similar. It's very short wings, but it was.
No, but what's the point of it? That the Pentagon got hit with that missile? That's what.
Oh yeah. Okay. It wasn't a Tomahawk. It was much bigger, but it was a missile. It has very short wings, and it was probably dropped off, out of a B-52 bomber, and it comes in.
Okay, it's like a Tomahawk, but just bigger.
I mean, this thing was huge. It's huge. It's big. It's real big.
Yeah.
And
the government has they call it rods of God. I don't know if you heard of that weapon. They have that one. And what else? I think. Oh yeah, and in Lebanon, Beirut. You remember there was an explosion in Beirut, Lebanon. They say it was like a warehouse fireworks that went off. That was hit by a missile so fast that you cannot see it with your eye. You have to. I saw it. How I had to slow down the footage and change the contrast, and then you see something coming in, pop, and hitting Beirut, and then it exploded. So it was a missile. Well, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking that up. I'm going to see if I can find this because somebody else did research on it, and it looks like the one that it was white, total white, and I wouldn't classify this even as a missile. It's just something like it's not any kind of. It's
It is a missile. If it's sent to explode
Right, but
something
it's
that
not. Yeah, this is a different classification.
Yeah, giant missile.
Well, but there's a name for it. I don't know if Raytheon makes it or somebody. I'm trying to find it. You know, because even when you look, you know, they scrub a lot of this stuff now. But this was again. I'm trying to see what it is, but anyways, but yeah, that video I saw, and no one really talked about that video. I mean, all these people like, you know, that were big into this, you know, the Twin Towers and the Pentagon and all that, they never mentioned this video. I was like, am I the only one that saw this video? You know, it's like, I mean, it proves it's not an airplane, you know. And so, you know, it's
Well, I don't know what footage you saw, but the one I saw before that they confiscate, you can see the missile coming down low and hitting the Pentagon from the side, not from on top, from the side.
right, yeah.
And the FBI went in that area, all the business and that place that had camera outside, they went and confiscated all the camera, the videos. So yeah. But yeah, no, Neva Angels and Jesse, yeah, the world is around behind the curtain. We call it the deep state. And not all of them are humans. At the top of them are, you can say, hybrids. And
It says video does not show missile hitting the Pentagon on 9/11. False. The video shows American Airlines Flight 77 crashing into the Pentagon on September 11, 2001. Not a missile.
false. Oh, okay. Where did you got that?
That's what he's saying.
Fact check. No, but fact check, right?
Yeah,
fact
it's
check.
AP News.
Which is connected to Bill Gates, which the owner is a pedophile. That type of people that's telling you no, it's wrong.
No, I'm just looking
Oh,
it up,
yeah,
and that's
all
what it says. Like, okay.
Yeah, I know. The fact checks are controlled.
Yeah, I put
know
what kind of
during
missile hit the Pentagon, and they're saying that it got.
They're not gonna tell you.
They're just saying that it got hit by that airplane.
Remember, right? In 2020, 21, people were being fact checked, including me, for sharing truth about the convict bullshit jab. And look now, the truth coming out. We were right. So we were being fact checked for that. So I don't believe fact checked. And there's few of them that has been linked to Bill Gates.
And then someone was saying that the airline was being tracked by ATC toward its deadly collision with the Pentagon. That was being tracked.
Oh yeah, really? Wow.
Now that's what it says there.
Okay, and I'm curious of this. Oh, Abe, what do you think? Out of what you just read now, what was your conclusion on what happened to the Pentagon on 9/11?
I think it was an inside job, man. Honestly, they had other stuff inside the buildings that blew up, like when you do demolition, and they brought down the buildings. It was an inside job.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yes, I think too. It was an inside job. They knew.
So they had to make the illusion of the airplanes and all that, but it was things that blew up within, like demolition within the buildings, to bring it down too.
Yes, that's correct, because I heard some people saying, witnesses that was killed afterwards, saying that they heard in the buildings go boom, 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 boom. And then it went down. Yeah. So it was like a demolition plant. Yeah. And it goes as so far. Hey, with that, there's a lot of, because 2 weeks before, the building was insured for terrorist attack. So when the building went down, the people earned a lot of money from those.
Wasn't that day something what day was that? Was it a day that people were going to some kind of holiday, or people that were going to? A lot of people didn't go to work that day, but there was 190.
There's a group of people that didn't go to work.
There was
that
something
day.
happening
Yes.
that day. That's a lot of people didn't show up to work. I just remember what was it. I know it was I don't know it was a holiday or something was going on that a lot of people didn't show up to work, but still a lot of people
Okay.
died.
I found the missile. I shouldn't call it a missile. It's a okay. This is what this thing that I saw hit the Pentagon. It's a they call it a AGM 86B/C/D. But what it is, it's a conventional air launch cruise missile.
You see, it is a missile, and it's a cruise missile like the Tomahawk. The Tomahawk is
Yeah,
also
but if
a
you
cruise
look at
missile.
this thing, you go look at the body of this thing. It's
just a Tomahawk 2.0.
but it's it has the fuselage of almost like of an airplane.
Yeah, like the Tomahawk. It has like wings and it has a rotor for guidance because it goes from miles and miles.
Yeah, if you look that up, it's the I'm just trying to get the kind of the general name of it. I don't know.
Just give the name is the ACG cruise
AGM,
missile.
Cruise missile or something, But and they either launched that from. To me, the only way to launch that would be from a bomber or something, because you can't. If you can't launch it, out of a submarine or off a ship, because the Washington,
I think they could send it off from a ship. They would just need to modify it.
The numbers: 2,753 people died around the Twin Towers, including 343 firefighters and paramedics, and 71 law enforcement officers. 184 people died, which includes 125 people inside the building, and then 64 people, including the hijackers on American Flight 77.
Are you Googling?
Yeah, I'm just reading the numbers.
Can you Google what Google say about building number 7? What happened to building number 7?
Still doesn't the numbers don't add up, man. Because it's saying that there was 184 people died in the Pentagon. There was 100 people died and 125 people inside the building, and 64 people, including the hijackers, on the Pentagon. And then over there was 2,753 people died.
And then you have to add the ones that died in the war too afterwards, from the cost of that whole thing. And the hijackers were supposedly Saudi Arabian people, but they attacked Iraq. But the whole thing was that was surface level. There was a lot of things happening behind the scenes. Yes, it was an inside job. I think Israel and the Mossad was involved.
There was
in
19
that.
hijackers. 2,996 people. 19 hijackers. 2,977 people were victims.
Yeah, about 3,000 people died, they say.
Wasn't there one that didn't make it to the destination because of the people fought and they crashed and died in the airplane? Something like that?
Something like that.
One of the airplanes was aiming for something else, and
that crashed in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is, it's.
Dancing
there's
Jews.
So much.
There were a group of Jews that were dancing, celebrating when that happened. Even the people in Palestine, that a lot of people are protesting for now, they were dancing and happy and celebrating when America got hit. The Jews and the Palestinians and the Arab Muslims. Yeah.
Because they hate all Americans.
Yeah. Hey, good night,
Good
neighbor
night,
Angel.
Sister Cynthia.
Yeah, they hate Americans. That's why America needs to stand their ground, stand in their Christian roots.
Ain't it crazy that
Because they want.
they say death to America, but then when shit hits a ceiling fan over there where they live, they want America to go save them.
Well, you know what America should do? If you don't take allegiance to America and you don't put America first and you don't respect the culture, you don't respect Christianity, you shouldn't be allowed to stay in America. You should just all those people need to get deported ASAP. Call me dictator if you want. I don't care. But you don't come here to simulate. So you need to get your ass out. I'll be that strict. No Muslims, no Ashkenazi Jews either with the Talmud. If you're following the Quran or the Talmudic book, you can both fuck off to your country. Both of them are bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but still getting back to the United States Corporation of America, until you resolve that, they can do anything they want.
Well, that's going to be resolved. It's going to go back. I think when it became America Corporation was in the, I think, mid 1800.
Right.
But what I understand now is going to go back to the Republic. So it was the Republic of America, and that's where it's going back. I know what you're talking about
that's
with the corporate. I know. Have you heard of Jordan Maxwell?
Yeah, and I think that's after Jesus Christ comes. Then the Republic. I don't know if you guys have ever read this, but have you ever read? It's in the Library of Commerce called the George Washington's Vision. Have you ever read that document by George Washington? Was visited by an angel. It's in the Library of Congress. You should read that. Just look it up. George Washington's Vision. And they do talk about the Republic, and the future of this country. So,
so he was visited by an angel. I know.
Yeah, and
they made a movie, I think, called Young Washington, or a series, I don't know. And apparently they put a happening in that that really happened is in the war. The Native American that I think fighting for the on the other side, they tried to kill George Washington a lot of time. They shoot him more than 10 times each,
Right.
and they couldn't kill him. And then afterwards, they wanted to talk with George Washington because they got the sense that he's protected by the Great Spirit, the Holy Spirit. And people that has that level of protectness are here to do great things. And they wanted to meet him and talk with him. And that was in the school books before 1960s or 1950s, they took it out. But that was part of this what the children would learn. So yeah, and he did something great. He built. He was one of the founding fathers of America. So
Well,
yeah, he was protected by the Holy Spirit, Great Spirit.
Well, it's in the Library of Congress. It's a document that it's his diary of, he has one of these persons that take the shorthand or whatever and, documented this stuff in a diary and talked about this angel came. This is when he was at Valley Forge, before he crossed the Delaware River. And this angel showed him, the future of America. So he was definitely, I believe, blessed because I think God's has a plan for this country. And,
Yes.
he was fulfilling his role, as, of course, the first president of the United States. And, but if you read that, it's called George Washington's Vision, and it's in the, it's documented. It's in the Library of Congress. So it's not something made up by AI or Wikipedia or whatever.
Jesse says they made him out to be that way, but the U.S. was founded by Masons.
Well, yeah, they were Masons. A lot of them were Masons, but the Masons were originally good. They got infiltrated. Masons were just builders, architecture builders, you can say, but they got infiltrated. Yes.
But the ultimate carpenter was Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So he was also a Mason, right? No, no,
He's,
no.
I'm
he's
just
the
saying he was a carpenter.
he's the
Yeah, he was a
cornerstone.
carpenter.
He's the
Well,
cornerstone.
Joseph was a carpenter, but he's the son of a carpenter.
Yeah. But
He's a
but yeah,
carpenter of souls.
no,
He
but
builds foundations of love.
yeah, they build structure. They have knowledge, but they got infiltrated. The Mason got infiltrated. That I know. And yeah, most of the founding fathers were Mason. Yes. Well, you have some good Mason and bad, like in everything. But the higher you go, the darker you become. Let me put it that
Why
way.
would they wear wigs and stockings back in the
Okay,
day?
that I don't know. I cannot answer you on that one. I've researched a lot of things, but I
The
haven't researched
stockings,
that.
they wore them white stockings and wigs. Or I know that's their hair, how the hair was back in the day.
Oh. Well, the part of him being visited by an angel, I'm gonna look it up afterwards. I
Yeah, just
haven't
look
heard
up George Washington's vision. Vision.
vision.
Vision.
Oh yeah, I know how to spell vision. But yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, check that out. You'll be amazed. It's a couple pages, but it's got some supernatural stuff in it. But it does relate that this country goes through a lot of dark times, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel with this nation. So
This country was supposed to be the Gentile country. I think they're
Gentile?
called Gentile. We're supposed to be the Gentiles, but
What do you
when
mean?
they started spreading the word of Jesus Christ, because look at all the people, all the natives in this land, before there was anybody that came into here, even any of the people that came through here, the Spaniards and all that, used to be all native land. Yeah, some of them were cannibalistic.
Oh yeah, but not all tribes were like one love with each other because you had
Yeah,
tribes that
that's what I'm
go
saying.
war with each other too. Like the Comanche enslaved the Apache and took their land.
There were because they were corrupted by well, we know by the Watchers. That's why they would do a lot of sacrifices and all that, and in these pyramids. When we talk about
Well,
pyramids,
they
when we
weren't
talk about pyramids, you can't forget about all the people that died through as sacrifices, because that's what they would do. It doesn't matter is the Pharaoh pyramid or the Spanish pyramid, any pyramid. There was some kind of a sacrifice because they were doing the orders of what the Washers were telling them to do.
Yeah, there were some native tribes that were under the influence of the Watcher or demonic entities, and
Yeah,
those were doing or performing ritual and and sacrifice
and
because
then what
when
happened?
the
A
Spanish when
flood
the
happened.
Spanish arrived,
A flood, no.
but when the Spanish arrived, they went against that, you know. And there were some groups, some native groups in Mexico that were also having problems, I think, with the Aztecs. They were doing sacrifice. So there was a native group that joined the Spanish against the Aztecs. Yeah, yeah, but you don't get that at school. So
There's a
yeah,
lot of
it
crazy stuff
wasn't
happening.
jolly. It wasn't jolly neither in the Caribbean, because here in the Caribbean you have different native tribes, and you had one that was causing problems for the other ones, and those were the Caribs. They were causing problems with the Tainos and the Arawaks because they go into battle and they kill you, they eat you. They were cannibalistic. And when
Hmm.
Columbus arrived here, the
AKA cannibalistic means what? Wendigos.
those
Yeah.
were more
Change it
the
to Skinwalker, but Wendigos have become. That's what when people talk about. I ain't even supposed to say the names. So we just say the wind, the WO. I'm going to call it the WO.
We better pray
The
about that.
WO is because of that.
We better
Because
pray
of the
about.
cannibalistic. And
Hey,
guess what? A lot of these people that are in power, that's what they do. What do you think happens to the children that they're trafficking?
They get eaten.
Cannibalizing them. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They do
yeah.
all kinds of things to them.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, that too. That also has to stop.
They
It's
say
gonna come.
Ellen DeGeneres is one of them.
Oh yeah.
Was eating children.
Yeah, because what disease she have now? Kura or kuru. That's what you get when you eat. You're being cannibalistic, basically. And I think Oprah also have it. And there's few celebrities that got kuru, and that comes from being eating humans, basically.
What do you
Yeah.
think about that, brother Scott?
Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard that before. But I was going to mention also, Abe. When you mentioned, you know, uh, the W, right? And I'm going to say something after this, but you better pray about that because what I heard, this one of the channels, Dark Waters. Do you know his channel, Dark Waters?
Yeah, I've heard of him, but I don't talk to
Okay,
him because
you gotta.
PRT.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had
Well, here's the thing.
they don't get
Hey,
along.
he agrees. He's got a video. I'm looking for it now, but he was saying when you bring it up, even that W stuff, that 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 needs to be prayed against, and protected, and you've done that before. I know you've done that, but he's got a recent video, Abe, and he's talking about the same thing that you had mentioned, all that. And I'm going to look for it. I'm going to try to send it to your messenger because I don't see it as a current. I think it came up like on one of these aggregate things or whatever, but I'm going to have to look for that. But it's very interesting. And like I'm saying, there's more and more research is coming out that these what we think are flesh and blood creatures are not what you think they are. They're a multiple of different things, but he had mentioned that word that you had mentioned, Gabe, that you got to be careful.
Well, the native elder that I'll be watching, he says not to mention
that
name because they'll come.
Yeah, Abe, they are right. Abe, they're right about that. And that's what this Dark Waters is also mentioning. And I had heard that before.
The hairs are standing up right now because I said that. Look, hairs, all my hairs right now. It got cold all of a sudden.
Fuck them Wendigos.
You seen that, right?
What, Wendigos?
It turned dark, like real quick. What was the timestamp on here right now? 12:20 between 12:27 to 28. It got dark behind me. So
yeah, take a look at that one, the rerun.
Negative energies around me. You're not allowed here. I tie, bind, and rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. Leave my house. You're not allowed here. This I pray in your heavenly name, Heavenly Father. Amen.
Amen. So and I also pray all the
27 to 28. I'm going to look at the timestamp because all my hairs. I had goosebumps on my arms, and I could see something black behind me.
So you cannot say the name Wendigo or Baal.
Well, I mean, you could say names, but it's kind of like you're calling them, you're summoning them.
They're pieces of shit. That's why I'm letting them know they're pieces of shit.
Well, what Dark Waters was mentioned, not to bring up his show, but one thing I remember, because I have a short-term memory, that it's kind of a worship. It's a worship action when you bring up, people that are interested. Besides, see, this is the difference between Abe and the other shows. The other shows, actually, I'm going to kind of use this word because he had mentioned it. They kind of worship these creatures, these cryptids. It's a form of worship, and these creatures, they love that. They love to be noticed and talked about, and so. But Abe doesn't do that. Abe is like,
I don't know. The reptilians don't want to be acknowledged. They're good in hiding. They don't want people to know. The more people know about them, then it's game over for them. So acknowledge that they exist and worshiping them like having an altar or something is completely different.
But I
No.
mean, it's you're bringing in like you're interested. Like last night, I put a posting up. I mean, I put it in the chat that these dog men are, another term is hell. They're hellhounds. They're from hell. They're from hell. These are these are creatures that whether DDN, Nephilim, whatnot. But these are not what you think they are, basically. And these people that go out cryptid hunting and so forth, and they're all interested in trying to shoot one or trying to. I mean, in a way, it's kind of it's kind of a form of worship, kind of like they're they think they're so cool. They think they're nice. They think they're gentle animals. They think they can whatever.
If you're brainwashed or
guys,
maybe you fall into that, but if you live in fear, they will feed out of that. If you only live in fear, but if you're not, it's not all about the intention. It's the energy behind it. Sorry,
Well,
but
right. But these people that that come across these creatures is the fear that is this is primordial fear. This is fear that is beyond fear.
Right.
That's why they bring that. The thing about it, what Abe does is Abe is always rebuking it in the name of Jesus Christ. See, he's got the foundation, but these other people don't. They're out there in the wilderness or on the shows talking about all this stuff, but they're not using Jesus Christ. They're not using the heavenly foundation and the rebuking and bind and rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ these creatures, because these spirit beings will follow you on the internet. They'll follow you home. They'll follow you everywhere. So and I tell you, man, it's
So that's their problem. That's how they're gonna learn. But what Eve was telling yesterday, that they follow him home self, so it doesn't matter. You just have to stand ground in your body and
Yeah, you gotta let them know they're not allowed, to
right. Yeah.
to come to you or to follow you home inside your house, even though they might be roaming around outside because they're pissed off you when they're out there in their territory or whatever,
I was going to tell you, that's why I told you to toss me the link, because I seen that. And I realized when I hit the link and came over, you realized that it got darker behind you. I seen that happen. I was going to be, hey, give me the link quick.
It was on the 227 and 228 marker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and make a short reel of it when it happened. Yeah, you could see them.
Yeah.
So that was what, the spirit of the Wendigo?
Something unclean. I'll just say an unclean spirit, because
Yeah.
the reaction my body got was my hair stood up and I had goosebumps all over me. And then you were able to see it behind me pass.
Yep.
So yes, Jesse, you're right. These entities promote fear, and it feeds them. That's what feeds them, is fear.
They feed off of fear. That's right.
Yes.
That's what makes them stronger.
Yes. So you can say their name, but I don't know, the Native American, maybe if you're in their territory and you say the name like 3 times, like Beetlejuice, they will appear due to where you are. I don't think they're going to appear here in Aruba. They cannot feed anything out of me. I'm not in fear.
Is Cynthia still in here?
I think you call it a night.
Yes.
Or did she? Oh, okay.
All right, Abe. Thanks for the show. I just messaged you that video. I found it, so take a look at
All right,
that.
brother.
So. All right, I'm out too. So you guys have a good one.
All right, brother. Good night,
Scott.
brother.
Good night,
Thank you
everyone.
for being here.
Thanks. See ya.
We're here.
God bless you.
Roy says, my mother used to tell me when we were young, be careful, certain things that you say, evil has ears. Hmm.
Yes, it does.
Hey, Duval, outdoors, blessings.
What happened? Oh, Duval. Duval cracks me up.
Yeah,
So,
I do.
He's lucky he lives in a little island. That's only how long? How big is the island?
19 miles long. I live on a 19 miles long island, so about 40 minutes point to point, and 8 miles wide in width. Yeah,
wow, that's little.
yes. I live on I was born on my lovely Aruba island. Yes, I chose to be born here.
Oh, did you? I
Yes,
mean, well, you probably couldn't think of any place else better to chose to be born at, but because that's a small little island, you don't have you don't have a very huge population there, do you?
120,000.
120,000 people live on that island. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be living in a floaty thinking it's gonna sink. Too many people, y'all get off. Uh, that must be nice though. I know
Yeah,
you got to cut.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be born here. It's because how I am. I think I'm here to do big things, but I'm not gonna. In the future, you will know what I'm working on, but I cannot talk about it right now. But I'm
Well,
here to do big things, basically.
I know you need
I'm
to
here
work on.
safe in Aruba. I'm safe. I can speak my mind. Nobody can tell me shit. I'm not gonna go to prison. Like if I was in Canada or in US, I'd be long in jail. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't live in Canada either. Those people have all lost their ever loving minds. There
The
ain't no way.
Canadians.
Yeah, I mean there are some that like Dick Richards over at PRT. He wants
Mm-hmm.
to leave, come here. I told him that if he would just, I would go up to the border, and if he would jump over the wall, I would catch him, so we can bring him over here. But yeah, he wants to get out of there because those people are nuts.
Hmm. Where you
Mm-mm-mm.
are again? In which state are you, Brenda?
Texas.
Oh yeah, you're in Texas. Okay.
Yeah, my state's probably just a little bit bigger than your island.
Oh yeah, I live on an island self. Yes, yes. Here is good. Most people speak multiple language. At home, we learn Papiamento. That's our native language here. It's a mix of Dutch, Spanish, Old Portuguese, and yeah, Arawak, a bit French too, and a bit African Creole, and it's called Papiamento. It's called the language of the resistance. It was when they captured the native here and the Africans that they tried to communicate, build a language together, and they took words of different language and build a language so they can communicate without the master knowing what they were talking about. That's how the language came to existence.
Now,
And
Jesse, why would you want to smuggle ganja over here? He likes where he's at. Now, if you want to get into smuggling, I want some of them coconuts that he's got in his tree.
well, smart. I never been to US. I never had. I didn't. I'm good in Aruba. I never had the to wanted to go to the US. But yeah, but I know the US has a lot of ancient part. There's a castle in Florida I
Yes,
want to visit called Carroll Castle.
I know about Coral Castle.
Yeah, that place I want to visit. Arizona, Sedona, and Mount Shasta. Those places I want to like visit. So maybe in the future. But I'm not in a rush.
Maybe one day. Just
Yeah,
stay out of the bad parts and the ghetto and,
yeah. I'm not gonna go to
California,
the
and you'll
ghetto.
be all right.
Yeah, I don't align with ghetto people. With their mind thinking. No, so
And if you come out to Texas, stay out of Dallas and Austin, and you'll be all right. Everywhere else is fine. You would
uh,
probably like the Riverwalk in San Antonio. That's pretty nice.
if I was living in US, I think I would live in Miami or Florida. Florida, yeah, Florida.
Probably. I could see you living in Florida.
Yeah, because there is more close to the Caribbean weather. Yeah.
Yeah. Do the women out there where you're at run around half naked on the beach too, like they do in Florida?
Not really, not really. Arubians doesn't do that, but the Americans do. Because I
What?
remember when I was young going to swimming lessons through school, we passed by the hotel at the beach and you see a lot of Americans laying with tits out on the beach,
Oh no, no. I'm
From
talking about just like the skimpy little bathing suits. I'm not talking about pulling them all the way out. Those are nude beaches. You have to go certain places
no,
for
it's
those.
not nude beach, it's just normal beach, but they're just laying there just with the tits out to get sun. No, Arubians doesn't do that. Well, the Americans doesn't care basically, and no, we don't have nude beaches here. And about skimpy bikini, I see now. Well, I don't go much to the beach, but the last time I went, I do see women with like tongue bikini, basically.
Yes, that's
Like
what they wear.
yeah, yeah, that's the trend now. If I had a daughter, she's under 8, I wouldn't allow her to wear that thing. No, no, no.
Yeah. I
That's
never
too much.
wore I never wore one of those, but well, I
Are you
wouldn't do
sure?
that anymore
I thought you
anyways.
would, Brenda. You went to Jamaica. And Jamaica, I think, has nude beach. I think you would have been all out there.
The only saving grace out there is Jamaicans like fat white women.
Yeah,
That'd be
they
my
have
only
nude
saving
beach.
grace.
I think they
Oh,
have also swinger beach where
hey,
people go
Abe,
there
I
and
know who
swing
that
with
is.
Jamaicans. Ugh.
Yeah, I know who that creature is.
Yep. I had to show him because I said the name, so I had to show him that it's a spirit, and it'll show up. You got to be careful.
Yeah,
You say like a Beetlejuice 3 times. I say what's called when
You
you go,
seen
when you
I
go.
said it one time and seen what happened.
I say it 3 times. When to go, when to go, when to go, when to go.
Okay, let me see the camera, see what's gonna happen where you're at.
Nothing. I'm protected by the high, most high spirit, Holy Spirit. No fear here. They come here, I eat them. I'm a bit hungry. Yeah, man. No fear. No fear, man. My spirit. Hey, and oh, hey. Now you mentioned this. Now I want to. Now I come to my mind. One time you saw. I think you can see things, right? You saw somebody, and you got a vision, and you saw somebody, and you asked me if I know who that is, and you got a bit scared, and you wanted to pray with me. You remember that? Well, I went to check because I have connection. I have friends that are psychic and spiritual. I asked them, "Hey, can you tap in what Eve saw? Was it a threat or not?" Both of them said no. That was my higher self. What you saw was my higher self, was a warrior version, but it wasn't a threat. That was me. But my warrior version is what you saw, my higher self, basically. And they describe the same what you describe with the ponytail, like a monk type. But that was my higher self.
Let me take this off. Man, we're fixing to hit the 3 hour marker again. Sister
wow.
Brenda still here?
I
Where is
am.
she?
I am here.
Yeah, we the open mic nights turn out to be pretty good. I just like to keep. You seen, I got rid of somebody earlier that came in and started saying some bad things. I think it was talking about you, Sister Brenda.
Who was it?
I don't know. Never seen him here, and I booted him out.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I wasn't here at that moment. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
I
there's a lot
I
of
know
people
who it
losing
was.
their mind this month. I tell the truth. This month, the energy is high. I'm seeing a lot of people that are not balanced and they're acting out of their emotion without thinking. Yeah, they're not grounded. They're not one with nature. And you're going to be seeing that with people. Yeah, just keep calm. Exercise, hug a tree,
Yeah,
eat.
Naglo dish. It's called the Naglo dish in
None.
Navajo.
Yanaldoshi. Yanaldoshi. What is that?
Naglo dish.
We pronounce it differently, but what does that mean?
It's for shapeshifter, like a shapeshifter skinwalker.
Oh, yeah, the Navajo is, they have stories about the skinwalkers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then the Navajo is in what, Texas and bit Arizona.
What is it? What's in Arizona?
The Navajo tribe.
It's called a Naldrulichi.
Oh, a black witch.
Ye Naldrulichi.
A black witch.
A black
Which
witch
would
was
be
a
the skinwalker.
malevolent witch who gains the supernatural power to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. Unlike traditional healers, these figures represent deep-seated cultural taboos and the aversion of moral order, and they are rarely discussed with outsiders.
Oh, you're in New Mexico. Okay. Yeah, New Mexico also has ancient tribes there. I would imagine. Desert like place.
New Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh, you would think so. I mean, because they're really
In
very.
Mexico, they're called the Nagual. It's still the same thing, but it's called Nagual. Thing is Nahaul, something like that, Nagual, which is like a witch doctor that has the ability to shapeshift. No difference than a shapeshifter through witchcraft and necromancy.
I think in Aruba we call them pendejo.
Yeah,
I know what
in
that
New
means.
Mexico, it's the same thing. They exist. It's from the same. I believe it's the same natives that used to live here in Texas, which was they were called the Tonkawa. They lived in Texas. They moved to Oklahoma. Then from Oklahoma, they went to New Mexico and Arizona. Those are the last places they sent them because they were cannibalistic. So the government they used to be like scouts for the U.S. Cav when they were in horse regiments, and they were good at tracking at hunting. They were good trackers. So if there was another native wanted, they would take the Tonkawa hunt tracker and they would track them. And then there was a story of this guy named John Smith. I think that's what they called his name, John Smith. It was a cab soldier. They had tracked somebody that was wanted, and they captured him. And I guess they camped somewhere for the night, and he went to go try to find them. He couldn't find them, and then when he found them, they were cannibalizing the the soldier. I mean the other native. I think he might have been Comanche or Cherokee. I think Comanche because there was Comanche and Apache, but Comanche.
Also, yeah,
They, they,
the
they,
word,
they
yeah,
had
the Comanche.
they were eating them. So they had killed a lot of people in that way of different tribes, and they all the other tribes they got together when they came after all the Tonkawas here in Central Texas. They came after them, and there were it was a massacre, man. They're getting killed, like, and then the governor got involved and used the army to stop the massacre. So he talked to the governor of Oklahoma and to move him over there. They moved him over there to Oklahoma, and guess what they started doing over there? The same thing they were doing here in Texas. They
Yep.
started killing the people over there, as in cannibalistic. And the governor from Oklahoma said, "Oh hell no, we're not going to have them here." So they brought them back to Texas, and when they brought them back to Texas, man, they came back for them again and they started slaughtering them again, the other natives, because they wanted vengeance for they had killed their brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, so they wanted vengeance. So then the governor intervened again. They moved them to New Mexico, and I think from New Mexico they started cannibalizing over there. They moved them to Arizona. So it's all in the vicinity. And what's in common with all these locations? Shapeshifter Skinwalker. And the other word I said earlier, because of the cannibalism, the WO. That's what's it. All these locations have in common is that they've been spotted. The Shapeshifter Skinwalker and the WO has been spotted in all these locations.
So wait, but okay, what the Wendigo is just a black witch or a human witch that went dark. That's a Wendigo.
No, the Wendigo is somebody that has eaten human flesh, and they become like that. A Wendigo, or
creature,
I said the word again.
Yeah,
No, I'm not calling any WOs a type of American name of Jesus Christ. Am I allowed here?
no fear.
There's a Shifter Skinwalker. That's the Dark Witches. The Dark Witch.
Yeah, and the other one, the one you don't want to say the name, although by saying the name you don't give it power. It's all the intention. So me saying Wendigo, I don't give it no power. I see it as a low dumbass entity.
This Shifter Skinwalker, they're all over Central Texas. You see them at the lakes, at the creeks.
I should visit Texas.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. You could be driving, like in Temple. I was driving and I seen something weird. I was at the light. It passed right in front of me. It looked like it was in manifestation because it looked part human, part animal.
Oh,
it was going real fast on the ground. I was like looking at it like, what in the F is that? And it just passed right in front of me. In the stoplight, there was a gas station. It passed right in front of me. I was like, whoa, what the, And I just did the sign of the cross. It was like literally crawling on the ground like a freaking heart. I mean, it was just crawling on the ground real fast, real long. It looked like it was a mid manifestation where it was part human and part animal. But it was very long, like around 12 foot long. And I was like, okay, I know that's not no dog. What the hell is that? And it was moving real fast.
Okay.
I wish I could have, if I would have had recorded it, we would have been able to see it. It was huge. But it's all over Central Texas. I believe in Salado, Texas, which is part of Central Texas. They found the oldest native Indian burial ground that's older than any native Indian burial ground around the world. When they built Belton Lake, there was a cave it's covered underwater right now, but in that cave there was an altar, and there was a statue of a eagle inside the cave. But it's underwater right now.
Was it an eagle or was it an owl?
No, it was an eagle, the face of an eagle. But if you go to the lake, you'll be able to see the dark shadow figures. I witnessed them, the dark shadow figures, and these the skinwalker, but in what people call a werewolf form, on bipedal, running. I've seen them out there. That's why I want to buy me a camera with four angles to be able to record these things. If I were to decide to go and go and do an investigation, to be able to capture them. But it's one of the things that you don't want nothing following you home, or you don't want nothing zapping you. Well, Sister Brenda knows what I'm talking about because she experienced something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to take those things home with you, that's for sure.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so indigo is a spirit or a person who has eaten human flesh. A skinwalker is a witch, usually male, who uses dark witchcraft. But to become a walker, they have to kill a loved one and wears their skin. Oh, they damn.
Those the dark witchcraft. Guess who taught them that?
Who?
The native elders will tell you. They said that the Bigfoot taught them the dark witchcraft, but the native elders said that Bigfoot is a demon.
Which
That
tribe says that?
they didn't teach them,
It
turn their
depending
people
which
to
tribe.
the witchcraft. They're also the ones that kidnap their children.
Which tribe say that?
Uh,
Well, because there's different tribes in the
I believe
U.S.
it was the
All of them
Navajo.
see.
The Navajo corrupted their people and took some of their children into the woods.
Okay, I don't know about that because you have different tribes with different perspectives. Seems like it because you have other tribes that say that the Bigfoot are one with nature and they're like beings that were here long before the humans, and some of them work with them, have ceremony
The only
with
thing
them.
I can say, if you do encounter one, right, whatever perspective you want to think how it looks, whatever manifestation it takes, put it to the spiritual test. Like I've done it. I've tied bound rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ, and guess what happens? Disappears. It either leaves a sulfuric smell or a pestilence smell. It just vanishes. So that's telling me that it's not something that's in the flesh, that is something that is spiritual because I tie, bind, and rebuke it through the name of Jesus Christ.
But that's the thing. You encounter a lot of spiritual beings, or mostly what you encounter are all spiritual, like what happened at 2:27
Yeah.
minutes. That was something that
One day I'll go. I'm gonna go back there. I don't know when, but I do want to go around where Sister Brenda used to work at because she worked right by the edge of where I had my experience. Like how far is it from the edge? If you were to get off the bridge and go into the woods, that's like a good what 150 200 meters
Maybe it's that.
from the club. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of activity there. There's one. There's something flying there. Uh,
oh
I,
yeah,
I I did see one.
that's bugs. That's
I was
something.
fishing. I was fishing with my son on the other side where Brenda works there. So I was fishing there one afternoon. As I'm fishing, the sun is still up and everything. I see something walk to the edge of the creek, and it's looking at me and my son, and I see it, and he's just standing there looking, and I'm like, "What in the hell is that?" It's pretty big, and it looks like it's got. At first, I thought it was a person in a what do you call those camouflage suits that they wear that you can see like stuff hanging from them.
Yeah, yeah, camouflage
Yeah,
costume
but there's a certain suit that they wear to camouflage it. They have like things hanging from the camouflage suit.
for
That's
army.
what it, that's
For
what I thought it was. But then when I looked, it's like, well, I'm looking, but it's not nobody in camouflage, and you're just standing there. And I said to my son, it's time to reel in your reel and let's go home. I'm kind of hungry. And he's like, okay, Dad. I didn't want him to look that ways, so I was able to, reel up her reels. And when I started walking away, it went back into the woods. It was huge. I'm thinking, you know, that there's something there. I don't know if there's maybe a possible, if it's something that could be the flesh, maybe there's a possible hole that goes into a cavern because normally where there's creeks, there could be caverns, right, Sister Brenda?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there might be a cavern or a hole there that goes underground somewhere there in that area. I just don't know where it went. It was real big.
Yeah, there could
Now
be
that
one.
area, when I went last time, is all private property now. You're not allowed. It's private property. They put barbed wire fence and everything on there.
Why is that? What do you think?
They don't want anybody getting in there.
Are those tunnels connected to the guns?
I'm thinking that it could be something dealing with the government, honestly, because I've seen people come out of those woods, out of Elms Grove, believe it or not. I've seen people come out of there in all black, with night vision goggles on the forehead. They take them off, and I could see them standing over there by the picnic table. I used to be in camouflage myself, so they're over there, and I'm seeing them. And then they put their goggles back on and go back into the woods. So there's got to be something there. Got to be something going on. I don't know. I mean, not unless it's like the Scooby Doo where let's see who it is, and they take off the mask. It's somebody because maybe there might be some drug smuggling going on or something like that. Or people do that so people don't go to the woods because they're doing business there or something. It could be a lot of possibilities, and you got the airport right beside there, so is that kind of smuggling thing? I don't know, but I haven't gone to inspect that. I really don't want to know. Not after what I've been through there and I've seen. What would you do, Sister Brenda? Would you go and try to find out if there's something there? What do you think?
I mean, I might try to go around it a little bit and see how bad it feels. If it feels real bad, I may just back up and not have anything to do with it. Even I know my limits.
When people talk about the grass monster or grass squatch or something like that, they call it something. The grass something. Well, I see somebody. It looks like, to me, it looked like a person dressed in like a suit, but it's a camouflage suit. Not like the military, the green, but it's like.
Are you talking about almost like their camouflage rain suit things that they put on? They look kind of like that. They have stuff hanging on them.
They get stuff hanging from the outfit, hanging on the sides, on the legs, to camouflage with the environment.
I haven't seen one of those yet.
There you go, like the grass man. But I would say the wheat man, but we already got him here in the panel right now.
That's
the intelligent ganja man.
The ganja man. The ganja man.
We already got the ganja man here.
Intelligent weed smoker. Yes, or ganja smoker.
You're a talented weed smoker. I have never seen anybody put it like that.
What's that, Sister Brenda?
What is it?
Why'd you say you haven't seen nobody put it that way?
Yeah, that he is a talented weed smoker.
I have many talents. I went to the University of Science and Technology School. I study sustainable energy and technology. That's what I finished. I have my technical background.
Here comes Andres.
Why me and hi guys, what's up? Yeah, me and Jesse H in the chat literally were telling you it's called a ghillie suit. That's what you're talking about. Like in terms of like people wear or normal or ordinary people like in the army, like that's the stuff you're talking about. That's the closest thing that you could compare it to, because they have all the big brushy things on their heads and all the makeshift camo leaves, whatever you want to call it, hanging off their arms.
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
That's what I thought it was, a person, but the only thing about it is what I seen was yellow eyes. Looking at me, the yellow eyes stood out the most everything looked freaked out, how big it was, but the yellow eyes is what stood out the most. This one I told my son, let's get out of here, son. And we had to walk through the creek because we're literally in the edge of the creek. We walked through the creek, crossed underneath the bridge to get to the other side to make it home. We cut through the path of Elms Grove. But it's like, it's literally looking at us, like letting us know to leave, like telling us to leave. The way it was looking there, I seen it looking at us the way it was, and I said, come on, son, just reel it in. we started walking away. It went back into the woods.
Wow.
No, not a Sasquatch suit, man. I'm talking about it was made out of. What I'm trying to say that it looked like that, but it was looked like it was made out of Mother Nature itself. Like the because it looked like branches and stuff like that, and grass and of different things. But it had what stood out to me was the yellow eyes looking at me.
Yeah, it definitely reminds me when you talk about like the Ohio grasping, like I typed in the chat, and there's also like an entity over, I think in either Scotland or in the UK too, where they have a entity called like Green Man, because over there it's like essentially like an avatar of nature. And they also have like certain sculpts, certain depictions of him in some of their old castle in the walls. Like you know how some castles have like sculptures in the walls. That's what some people also refer to them as the Green Man.
Yeah, I read them up. No, I'm military trained, and it's like okay, there's definitely something. And it was, I said, I got to give my son attention this ways, and let him reel it in, and let him go first. And I shield my son because if something was going to happen, well, I was going to fight it, whatever it was, right? But I let him know, like, okay, we're leaving. Let him know that we're leaving, so we could hear that we're leaving. When we started walking away, he turned around and went back into the woods. I just don't know to this day I know exactly where he stood. I mean, we can do a test. We could take Brenda over there and put her in the spot where he was standing. If she sees anything or senses something, but we have to cross a creek to get you to that side.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
pretty sure Brenda's gonna break down in her wheelchair and fall into the creek.
well, it might take a little bit of time, but we can always drive all the way around and then go over there on the other side.
Well, I had the video where there was something looking at me, and then it tells me suck my.
Oh, nice.
I got a show reel of it where it says that. You would have to turn on your smart TVs to the loud so you could hear what he said to me.
Did you ask him if he kissed his mother with that mouth?
I don't know. That's what I heard. I was there by myself.
Mm-mm.
Definitely some activity there, and also that's the creek where that boy died. They took him through the creek. I know you heard the boy that was by the Kmart from the housing.
Yep.
He was in the military, and the parents were in the military, and he fell into the ravine, and the ravine took him all through Killeen.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you went up over there in Roy's Reynolds, but in the Harker Heights Bridge.
There was another kid that got caught in like one of those water drainage things. And it was so small that when he got caught in it, it folded him in half the wrong way out there in Nolanville.
Jesse said to put you in a ghillie suit.
I was about to say, like, that's a
Put me
good
in a
idea.
ghillie suit.
You're gonna be a Bigfoot on wheels.
Would you do it for a nutter butter?
Another butter. I'm trying to remember where I know Jesse H from.
JCH sometimes shows up in a PTRT too.
Okay, then that might be it. Because when I said hi to him when I first came in here, he addressed me by my name and said hi, Brenda. So I thought, oh, well, he knows me from somewhere.
Yeah, whatever that was that day, it didn't like us fishing in that area.
You say, get out. And you're talking about that same area that's back behind the clubs.
Yeah, right there.
They didn't
But
like me parking next to it either.
We wasn't where the water been. We were towards the middle by the bridge, near the bridge. We're fishing on the side there. And then it just came out. It's right there where it bends, a little bit where it bends, going the other way towards Harker Heights.
Yeah.
That's where it stood. It was looking at us.
Huh.
That place is bad news. And they are still trying to turn it into something. I don't care. They could turn it into a buffet. People are going to be running around with forks and knives and stabbing everybody. That place is possessed.
That place need Baptist, but
It needs more than
a
that.
strong person to clear that place, maybe bathe it with holy water or some shit, but clear it with smoke stage. But you have to be strong in yourself.
Well, and it's so big, you don't even know. I mean, it's not only just right there. The creek runs up and goes all the way around over by where Abe used to live.
I
Yeah,
got some
see,
sage right here.
You what?
Yeah, I also use sage. I have not. Let me show you the one I used to clear. Wait, let's see if you can find.
I have white. I have
Dragon
white.
blood.
I have white sage flakes, and I've also got white sage sticks. I have white sage, those little cone things that you
Yeah.
like incense, and I have the oyster shell that it goes in.
Oh, there
Chakra.
you go. What is that?
Poderosa
Chakra.
limpieza.
Oh, yeah.
Poderosa limpieza. There's powerful cleansing. Chakra is one I use.
Yep. The 7 chakras.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm displaying this new thing that I got. It's some kind of opal thing from Denver. But it's just a piece of a stone. It's supposed to be opalized or something. I bought it. I just got it into the mail, but I don't see really that much of a shine like the opals. But this is from Colorado, I think. I'm wearing it tonight.
What is that for? What is its properties? That is what, for protection or cleansing?
No, I just put it on for a show tonight. Of course, I got my black tourmaline.
Tourmaline. Okay.
I got the black tourmaline of smoky quartz
Smoky quartz. Okay.
and selenite around my neck.
Selenite. Do you have any shungite?
Hey, I got shungite. I got all kinds of stuff here in the house.
Okay.
Yeah, I got shungite. I got a meteor, a thing of a meteor, different meteors.
I'm pretty sure you have amethyst.
Amethyst, yeah.
You have tiger's eye.
Tiger's eye. I got tiger's eye, the yellow tiger eye, red tiger eye, blue tiger eye. There's like 4 or 5 different tiger eyes.
Okay. Yeah, all of them has a certain properties to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Go ahead.
this is I got this right here.
What's that?
Just
Quartz
a mineral.
crystal?
Yeah. It's pretty soft. I mean, pretty smooth.
You know where there's 2 places on earth where you get the best high quality quartz crystal. The one place is in Brazil, the other is in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 2 places.
Yeah, I got Brazil. I got Brazil amethyst. I got different kinds. Brazil amethyst and citrine, but amethyst is the one that they like to sell a lot from Brazil.
Yeah, you have also one that only is specifically there is the Lemurian crystal. Lemurian, crystal stone is in Brazil. Yeah,
I think there's one crystal that comes only from either Puerto Rico or from one of those little islands from Puerto Rico. It's like the only place you can find it. I just can't remember the name of it right now. It's colored like blue.
Blue. We have blue stones in Aruba here too, but I don't know which one you're talking about. I know shungite is only found in Russia. Shungite.
Jesse says something here. What is it saying? Old sage.
I was just about to reply to him if he was referring to possibly Alexander or the other sage that we know from PTRT.
Oh, saying he was fighting with who?
No, he wasn't fighting with anybody. He just says that he was the guy with us when what was her name? We were going over the live with Mary, I think her name was, and Anthony jumped into the chat and said like it was a lady whose fingers were looked different, and he assumed,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, that I think he was referring to Alexander when he means Sage. Like I think he was wondering if you have any socials, Alexander.
Oh, me.
I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have social. I have YouTube. Duh, duh, duh. But I have Instagram too. Yeah. If you go to my YouTube page, yeah, there you can click to connect to my Instagram. I will lead you to my Instagram.
I am
And
going to jump off of here. My pills are
Yeah.
kicking in.
We went
And
over
my
the 3 hour marker. Yeah.
Yep.
I tried to doze and almost fell out of my chair, so it's probably good that I go to bed.
Yeah. I think it's time to call it a night. So like that, if I want to do one for Friday, I gotta have the energy, or else I won't do it. That's what's been happening, you know. But hopefully, I'll have the energy to do one for Friday. We'll see.
yeah,
A bruja
Bruja.
tomorrow night.
Oh,
I ain't dealing with that.
them witches. All
There you go.
right. Good night, Abe, Andreas. Good night, Alexander. Good night, chat. God bless you all. And y'all have a good rest of the night.
Good night, Brenda. Take care. Rest well.
Good night, Sister Brenda.
All right. Well, I'm gonna log off to it. You like you said yourself. You gotta get your rest, and I'm pretty sure it's early for you too. You too, Alexander. It's got to be around like I don't know 3 already, since you're an hour ahead of us.
Yeah, it's about 4 a.m. in a bit. In 4 minutes, it's 4 a.m.
Oh, so that's like 2 hours, all right? Okay.
Yeah, in two, no, in 3.5 hours, I'm going to a plantation to help cut plants, wheat plant. Yes.
Oh wow.
Really?
Ganja
That's
plantation.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
man.
really nice.
And they pay me back with wheat plants.
I was just about to make a
What?
joke that the only reason you're even going is because you're probably gonna get some free weed out of it.
That's what he said right now.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
really.
I was gonna make a joke about it, but like it's still funny to hear him confirm it.
Good night, brother Jesse.
All right,
Good
good
night,
night, Jesse.
Duvall.
Good night, Dovell. Well, good night to everybody in chat. Good night, guys. Thank you for letting me on the chat, Abe. And
No problem.
good luck to you too, Alexander. It's probably gonna be hot tomorrow though, but good luck with that anyway.
Yeah, no, it's gonna go good. Yeah, that's why we're doing early. So in a bit I going. Yeah. So it's
right.
gonna go good. All right. Have a
Good
good
night.
day,
Take care.
Andres. Abe, everybody in the chat. Till next time. Blessings.
Good night. Thank you for jumping on here with me. Well, there you go, folks. We went 3 hours and 17 minutes. A lot of interest topics. When you go through something, those memories are always there. When you experience something, just like the memory of what happened that day that me and my son were fishing. My son was young. At that time, my son was like 6 or 7 years old. You know, when the thing was looking at me, there was still sunlight and everything. And I remember it just like yesterday. I know exactly where it stood and everything that I could go. I'm more sure everything might look different because uh, the grass or weeds or whatever that grow. But I remember where it stood. Uh, but yeah, it was pretty big, and I just didn't want my son to look that way. That's why I told him, "Come on, son, reel it in. Let's go. Got it, got it." And I put him in front of me to make sure he don't look back because sometimes these things that are out there, they're always trying to find a way in. That is even if they can befriend, right, or try to pretend to be a friend of your children. When they talk about imaginary friends, I think that's how some of these unclean spirits infiltrate families. Which you get AKA 401 missing, where people children disappear and stuff like that. If they can deceive them because they'll deceive them, especially if the child doesn't know Jesus Christ. They'll trick them. But let me show you where I live. You want to go to where I live? And it only takes for the person to say yes, right? They can say, if the person says yes, and they get close enough to them, boom, boom, they take them where they come from. So I'm more than sure that many, not just children, but people have been taken that way, and they're somewhere else, in a different dimension, or should I say realm. I believe that's how Jesus Christ went to hell to get his people out of there. How did they get there? That's one way that I believe. It's kind of like, well, I'll talk about the other one tomorrow. But I don't want. I already know that I said that we're going to leave and stuff like that. But anyways, tomorrow we'll talk more about it. That's why we have to protect our children, protect our family, protect our loved ones. We have to keep in prayer, place Jesus Christ first, because as the veil is lifting, these things that have been hidden, they're showing themselves. I know people have been paying attention. Things are surfacing up. I'm not paying attention to the AI stuff or anything that's happening on the internet. I'm paying attention to what's happening around me, because as the veil is lifting, things are surfacing up through the veil. But anyways, we can talk about all that tomorrow. If you want to tune into Lechuza Bruja Friday Night Live. I haven't done a Friday Night Live in a while. But I want to say thank you to everybody that was on the panel. Sister Brenda, Brother Scott, Alexander, Andres has jumped there at the end. And to all the moderators for doing an awesome job. I don't mind people jumping on here, or coming into the chat or whatever. Just be respectful. Especially when we got people talking in the panel, be respectful. And for the ones that are coming in here trying to disrespect people on the panel, you'll be automatically booted out. I think I automatically booted out the person that was being disrespectful to Sister Brenda. We won't tolerate nothing like that. But in saying that, this is Brother Abe Cias, Sarn Cias signing off for Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters. Good night, everybody. Love, light, and blessings to you and your families. Peace out.